anyways, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 4th episode of the Audio Nerds podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Fable, here with my good friend and co-host, Divide Music.
How's it going, guys?
And today we're going to be talking to you guys about the 2019 NPC. Sorry that we missed last week, by the way, for any of you guys who are keeping up with us. We had some technical difficulties with a microphone last week. So
it was my fault.
Well, technically, it was your microphone's fault.
Actually, it was my Apollo's fault.
Oh,
which is a whole nother anyways. But yes, but we're back again, and our upload schedule, as you will notice, seeing this on Friday, has now changed to Fridays. So
it has changed to Fridays. Yep. Now you're going to be able to hear both of our songs released on Friday and then listen to the podcast. You get even more of us. So
dude, you got to cook up some more of that popcorn, dude. Pop some more popcorn because you got a lot of content to listen to.
Just pop that popcorn,
dude.
I know you wanna.
Little butter.
Put some butter on it.
Oh my god.
A little bit of salt, little seasoned salt, a little bit of okay, bold statement here, but a little bit of ranch salt. You ever had that at the movie theaters?
I actually haven't. Ranch salt?
Sounds terrible, right? Sounds awful. My voice just cracked already.
Dude, at least we got it out of the way. But I was just gonna say that for a second I thought you were gonna say that you just drizzle some ranch on your popcorn. I was like, ugh.
You never know, that might be good. I've never had ranch on something and thought that was, well, maybe I have.
No, it's almost like the time that when I was really young, I had a can of plain Pringles, and I'm not a big fan of plain, and and you don't dip Pringles, but I decided to dip them in ketchup. And dude, it was like it's like potato fries. It was like it was like fries with some ketchup, and I thought I was really smart. And then I found out that Canada already makes ketchup flavored Pringles, so I wasn't that smart. Anyway,
wow, dude, way to be late to the party, man.
I know.
I just cracked again. My voice continuously cracks. That's all, dude. That sounds like French fries. That sounds bomb, dude. I'm all about it,
dude. We had just embrace it, man. Okay. So let's start with the beginning of this trip. So obviously there was many talks before NPC 2019 was announced last year, and so we were all getting prepared and trying to figure out like what songs we were going to perform, and flights and all that kind of stuff. And because Nick and I at the time, we both lived in Oregon, we were like, hey, let's fly out together.
Oh yeah.
And so I said I would take care of it, and I was looking for flights, and
oh man,
I found really good price on flights. I was like, all right, let's go. And so I called Nick. I was like, hey man, so I just got the flights. This is the total, and yeah, I got them at a really, really good deal, and I've never heard of the company before. And then what happened?
Well, that's when you said the magic words. That's when you said Sun Country.
No. You said to me, you said, wait. You stopped me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, wait a minute. Please tell me that you're not about to tell me Sun Country.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah.
I died.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Oh, I forgot, dude. Yeah, so okay, to not to go into this too deep, but my wife, her family is from Minnesota, so I've traveled to the Midwest quite frequently over the past 4 years since we've been married. And one of the horrible parts about traveling to the Midwest from the West Coast is that there's this airline that has these crazy affordable rates, and you're like, how are they selling rates this cheap?
Yeah.
And then you find out they suck.
The planes were built in 1965, and it still smells like 1965. And everyone that's on there is from 1925. Yeah, it's different. It's very, very different. And the flight wasn't too bad though. I mean, I think after we got off it, I vaguely remember you saying that was actually a better experience than you've had before, if I remember.
Well, let us not forget that I had a crazy sinus infection.
Yeah.
So that was the worst part. The flight wasn't as bad as I remember it being. I think I remember it being okay. I was in the middle, which was fine. I'm not a fan of the middle. I don't think anybody is. If you're a fan of the middle, you're weird. Let's be honest.
Jeez. I think we're like, what up?
I'm just kidding. Let's back that up real quick. No, it's fine. Actually, if you like the middle, you're a hero. I admire you. We need more people like that.
I don't know if we do, because I love it when no one's in the middle and there's someone on the window and I'm on the aisle.
Oh my god, so true.
So
So
yeah,
true.
sorry guys, if you're in the middle, then you should just get out.
All right, yep. If you're in the middle, you're fucking weird. We'll just leave it at that.
But that was bad though. I remember, dude, the first
Yeah.
time that when we flew there, it was bad. But when we flew back,
That's when it got serious. I actually did like real actual damage to my sinuses. It was so bad that the entire month after that, I couldn't move. I
oh
was on a
man,
sinus inhaler. So parts of the flights were better, remembering the plane and stuff. But like, obviously, I felt bad for you because I'm just sitting there the whole time, like telling you I'm in 10 out of 10 pain, dude. I can't move my face.
I remember you
And
said your
so
eye felt like it was popping out of your head, and oh man,
dude, it swelled up. You remember how freaky that was? My right eyeball actually got swollen. That's how much pressure was in my maxillary sinuses. That was the worst. I mean, I've dislocated my shoulder. I've done a lot of stuff, and that was the worst pain I've ever been in. So
that's
I,
brutal, absolutely brutal.
okay. Now that we got that boring, miserable stuff out of the way, we did fly together. It was great. And I do want to also say really quickly before we actually talk about the event, I was kind of pessimistic going into this. I've had this conversation with the boys from JT Music and Rocket Gaming who host it. Shout out to them for hosting it. They do a great job, by the way. But the first year NPC, which not that many people were at, but I was there. It was just pretty much a meet and greet at a pizza place with like very minimal amount of people, and it was kind of a hangout for all the artists. It was way more about the artists and
Right.
just us relaxing and chilling.
And sadly,
And so
I wasn't able to go to that one, which was one of my biggest regrets. But anyways,
oh well, you were missed, and obviously,
obviously,
the next year was even more fun. So we made up for it. But the first year was literally just to hang out. Everybody hung out, drinking, doing all sorts of wild stuff. Just socializing, which I personally loved because I never leave my room. All I do is make music all day. So when they announced that MPC 2019 was going to be a show, a concert, and a lot of stuff was going to be happening, and we're going to get less time to actually hang out with the other artists, I was kind of taken back. I wasn't very happy about it. I was like, I don't really like the idea of this. That was my first initial reaction. So, um, anyways, now that I've got that out of the way, that's how I was feeling on that plane going there. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I knew that you were with me. We were
oh
having
yeah.
a blast.
Well, I want to say as well, I had the same feeling about it too. But I think it for me too. It was more the performing side of things, just because we're writing music and posting online. We're not performing it, so the idea of performing really freaked me out because I've never performed any of my songs before. So yeah, like my initial thought to that was bad, and I wasn't excited about it. But just to jump ahead though, and we'll obviously come back to the concert. I know we both walked away from that very happy, and it was a
Oh
blast.
yeah.
It was so much
Oh
fun.
totally.
It was amazing.
Yes.
So actually, after because I well, we both only performed one song, and I know after I got off stage, I was like, man, I want to perform more. Like it was, I got the bug,
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, nothing but good things to say about the event. I just had those feelings, I was kind of worried because I just didn't know, but by the end of it, we were ecstatic. It was so much fun. I loved performing with you. I loved watching everybody else perform, and I loved seeing the fans there getting so into the performances. It was all great.
yeah, it was amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, but so okay, so we take the airplane, we land in Nashville, and one of the first things that we did is we took an Uber.
we did.
Um,
We did take an Uber.
we did take an Uber. And that Uber brought us to a part of town that was pretty we were pretty out of our element.
Yeah,
Um,
okay, for a lack of a better term, it was fairly ghetto. Just because it
mhm,
was somewhat run down, and and it didn't like turn us off, but we just noticed it was like a different part of Nashville compared to where we were
yeah,
driving from, and we were just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Um, and our what'd you call it, like a B&B?
yeah, Airbnb,
Yeah,
I
so
think, right?
it was in like a gated area, and we got dropped off, and it was great. Um, and I think we us being like just naive Oregonian Californian people, we just weren't really
Oh
thinking
yeah,
a lot when we were outside, because um I know we would like go out to wait for Ubers, we'd like wait on the street, and there was
oh yeah,
more than one occasion that someone came by to pick us up in the Uber, and they were like, "Hey, you shouldn't wait out here. You should just wait behind the bars because this isn't the best part of town. And we're like,
Yes.
what?
They would look at me like, "Hey, stupid white boy, please understand that this is you want to like be careful." And I was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" I was like, I just had no idea why there was these massive gates and stuff like that. I thought it was normal and um yeah, everybody started telling me like, "Hey, it's dark out. You need to get in there." And I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "This is not so nice of a part of town." Like
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's a thing." But that kind of made us after that. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
when we were getting our DoorDash and we were doing everything else, we were like kind of just like hiding in the gate.
Yeah. But I think, like, to our own, I guess, like, I don't know, just not knowing the situation, like, just being out there, we never had any bad feeling about it. I mean, people were
Yeah.
just walking around. It was whatever. But, after they said that, we were like, oh, all right, sweet. So we'll just stay inside then.
Oh yeah. Like definitely heeded the advice because I just didn't realize that that part of town in particular was that rough. I was like, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
We're
And
in that
nothing
because
happened, by the way. Like, everything was perfectly fine. Nothing weird ever happened, but
no,
they
yeah,
just wanted
nothing
us to
weird.
be
And the
safe.
Airbnb was really nice.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was
Yeah.
yeah, it was spacious. It was fun. So we get there. What did we do the first? Oh,
Okay.
we went to Costco. Oh,
Well,
I went to
you
Costco.
went to I took a nap. So when we got there, Russell and Vinny were there, and so were John and Christian. I don't think anyone else was there yet, if I remember correctly.
No, I think it was just us. Yeah, it was unless Jeff. Wait, no, Ben Schuler there yet?
No, because he obviously lives there, but I don't think he showed up until later.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
So, but yeah, because you guys went to Costco and I took a nap, and when I woke up, you were like back bringing a bunch, like tons of stuff in, and I came out to help you. You guys had so much stuff in the car; it was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But I don't know if there was anything notable about the Costco trip.
No, not really. I mean, all of us are pretty well acquainted at that point, you included. We've been down to Texas, met the JT boys, met Russell and Vinny, Rocket Gaming, so we knew everybody pretty well. So I remember you were like, you were so tired. We go to Costco. Nothing really exciting happens. We're pretty much just picking up waters and frozen
Hey,
foods
whoa,
and
whoa!
stuff like
What
that.
about the claws, dude?
Oh, the claws. You can't forget the claws. We got lots of claws.
Lots of claws. Everyone's
Um,
like, "What are claws?" White claws, to be more specific. White claws and Trulies. Those were the two. It's so funny too because I didn't know this at the time because I'd never had a White Claw before, but I know there's
yeah.
there's like a stereotype of them being for like, I don't know, like white girls drink them or something like that, or I don't know. And so after I got back and I told Leanna, I was like, "Oh my gosh, have you ever had a White Claw?" She's like, "No, I'm not an 18-year-old college girl." And I'm like, "Ooh, okay."
Oh my god, dude, that's some savagery. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten that comment a lot too, but I love them. You know, people can hate all they want, but
We're good.
do people actually really thoroughly enjoy the taste of alcohol? Let's have maybe that's a discussion for another podcast. But
Yeah, because I
aren't
don't.
we trying to hide from the taste of alcohol? Like when you have a really good mixed drink, like a really
Oh,
good one.
yeah.
Granted, not all of them, but like because there's like gin and tonics. There's like plenty of drinks that taste like alcohol that are good. Like I'm not gonna say every alcoholic beverage tastes like shit, but most of the time we're avoiding the
Yeah,
taste of alcohol. And
100%.
White Claw, they nail it.
Dude, the lime flavor, oh my god. After Ben Schuler from Nerd Out, after he told me that, I was like, he's like, "Dude, have you tried the lime?" I was like, "Dude, let me try the lime." And I noticed that the limes were going so quick and they were so, so good. But anyways, so that
Oh
was that
yeah.
was like a big joke at NPC was White Claws, and I think that's why Bone Cage ended up making a song about it as like a testament to how they were such a big part of it. And of course, there's been so many memes in the NPC chat thrown back and forth on White Claws. It's so funny. But
Oh yeah.
so okay, so after you guys got back, I can't remember. There were so many people. I can't remember the order, and I don't know if it's that important to remember the order. But people started kind of trickling in. I remember
Yeah.
that. So I just can't remember who was first.
I don't remember who showed up first either. I honestly really don't. But people started to trickle in. What did we? Why do I not remember? Is it because we didn't really sleep much the night before?
Probably. Okay. This is what I remember though. I remember the first night, and it's not like we don't remember because we were drunk. It's nothing like that. I think it was such a crazy day because we like flew in, we landed in the morning. It was just a weird situation trying to adjust to that. Um, but yeah, I remember, I remember seeing Bone Cage for the first time. That was super fun. Seeing Daddy Fast Naps and how freaking massive he is. I was like, I'm not alone, because I'm always alone being the big guy, and he is like 6'5", and I'm 6'7". So it was really nice to have a big fella there with me. But yeah, meeting Zach Boucher, meeting
Oh yeah.
uh, Game Boy, None Like Josh, video game rap battles, which I honestly had never been really familiar with his channel, but after meeting him and getting to know him, I was like, this dude's cool.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Oh yeah.
It was really
Oh yeah.
cool meeting everyone. I don't want to forget anyone. Okay, wait. Um, Dan Bull. How do we forget Dan Bull? Dan
Oh
Bull.
yeah, you can't forget Dan Bull. See, I've previously I've already met like a good amount of these people at other NPCs, so it wasn't my first time at that moment like it was for you. But there was also so many new people that I met too. And anytime I get to see these guys, it's like a family reunion almost at this point. It's like,
If dude,
it's like it's
it was
so good.
amazing for me. Sorry to cut you off. I'll say it was amazing for me because I feel like I can relate to that in some way, especially by the end of it. It was like, didn't want this to
Oh yeah.
end. Like we all got along so well, and it was so much fun hanging out with everyone. But then obviously, I think the latest person to show up was Will from DA Games, and trying to think who else was. There were so many people. Oh, CK9C was there.
Oh yeah. And his sister, right?
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
yeah. I think it's his sister.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so
Um,
she was there. The Nerd Out Boys all showed up.
oh, duh.
Nemraps,
Yeah, Nemraps and Jack.
Jack, Ben, of course.
Oh, Rustage.
Who
Wow,
Rustage,
how are we forgetting all these people? Because
the
the
Stupendium,
Stupendium, dude.
the Stupendium. Yeah, Zach Boucher. So many people. Game Boy Jones, of course. What's up, y'all? Game Boy Jones here. I have to do that
What's
every
up,
time.
y'all? Game Boy Jones here. I love it. I love it, dude.
I love Austin. Yeah, him. Just so many people. So many people. Of course, Rocket Gaming are there. Of course, JT are there. We did really big lineup. Actually, I have the poster.
I was gonna say we started this rabbit hole of naming everyone, and now I want to make sure that we name everyone because
Okay, so we of course have none like Josh too. Um, okay, let me just go through everybody so that the listeners know who showed up. Last year it was JT Music, Rocket Gaming, myself, Dan Bull, Bone Cage, Nerd Out, all three of them. Game Boy Jones, Rustage, Video Game Rap Battles, the Stupendium, Zach Boucher, None Like Joshua, Divide Music, the legend, DA Games, Daddy Fat Snaps, CK9C, CG5, of course, and Thick 44 from Neebs Gaming.
he was the only one that we didn't mention, and he was awesome. I really liked Thick 44. He was such a nice
So
guy.
cool.
He was
Tony's like, he's the man.
he was like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just so, I think for me especially, because he is kind of in the realm I'm in where he like loves guitars and has a ton of knowledge with it. He goes to like NAM every year, and he's
Yeah.
anyways, and he's just into that kind of stuff. So it's just really really nice to meet him. And I wasn't actually familiar with him or his work, but awesome guy, awesome guy. But yeah, dude, it was so much fun meeting everyone. So
Oh yeah.
I know like there were so many things that happened on this trip that I don't think we can do this in any order. We'll just have to jump around to all the funny stories leading up to the
Oh
to the
yeah.
concert. But I know, okay, I just want to get this out of the way because this is controversial. Okay,
Okay.
I met Rustage, and me and him got
Yes.
into a heated argument.
Oh shit. Which, wait, I actually don't remember this.
Oh no, you will.
A
'Cause
heated argument.
you
Was I there?
you chimed in.
Oh, the spot.
Yeah. Okay, so
Got it.
we were talking about Spider-Man, and if anyone remembers from any or from the previous podcast talking about my favorite game, I am a huge Spider-Man fan, and I know Nick is too. But obviously, I have a borderline problem, and a lot of people have their opinions on who the best Spider-Man is. You got Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, and people
Yeah.
will argue that Tobey Maguire is a bad actor and he did a terrible job. And you have people saying Andrew Garfield was just this like hipster like kid that just didn't portray Peter Parker at all. And a lot of people love Tom Holland. So
Mm-hmm.
me and Rustage got into, it wasn't actually an argument, but we were just like, it was getting intense though. Like he was getting really frustrated, and I was just me and him were just going back and forth, and I just like it was all in good fun. But he was like raising his voice. He's like, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong." And so my argument is that Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker because he's not a good actor. He's awkward, and he played the part really well of like a fumbling, just nerdy guy. I
Yeah.
think I think it's a decent argument to say that he was the best Peter Parker. And I have an opinion that not a lot of people agree with, but I think Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man. And
Hmm.
he was the worst Peter Parker, but he was the best Spider-Man because he played the the goofy quips, all that kind of stuff. He did that so well, especially in the first one. I know the third one was, or the second one wasn't obviously very good. The first one was pretty good, despite him not being everyone's favorite. But he just did a really good job. And my issue with Tom Holland is that I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but my issue with Tom Holland is that is he's a good actor. I do like him, but I don't think he's a very good Spider-Man personally. I'm just not a big fan. Um I just find it really funny that they pull a lot of the same stuff from like Miles Morales for him where
Oh yeah.
I didn't know this originally actually. An old coworker of mine, Glenn, was telling me about this, and he actually agrees with me on my points, but he was saying that well, I brought up the fact that it seems funny to me that Tom Holland is kind of an idiot. Like he doesn't really understand how to do things, and so his friend does them for him, like hacking into his suit and doing all this stuff. And I just have strong opinions about that, and I just find it really strange. Like I said, he's not a bad actor. I do like him as an actor, and I think he does a good job as Peter Parker, but he's just not my favorite. I am a big fan of like the older, you know, kind of awkward genius that's extremely funny and you know, I don't even know what you would say, like quirky or whatever, and have like really fast quips and stuff with people when he's Spider-Man. So, anyways, Rustage was arguing the point of Tom Holland, and I was arguing the point that I was making, and it was going back and forth, and he was getting all riled up, and it was so funny. And you chimed in at one point.
Yep. Oh yeah. I remember I had just put on like my shorts or something. I was like getting ready for the day. I walk out and I see you guys in the middle of this, and I could definitely tell he was frustrated. And something people probably don't know about me is I enjoy pissing people off sometimes. Um, it's kind of, it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of an asshole sometimes, I guess. So me naturally seeing that he's really getting flustered over this, I come in and I just completely counter his argument just to see what happens. And I remember I came over and he was like, "You guys were like, who do you think's the best?" And I was like, well, what do you guys think? And then you guys said what you thought, and I was like, oh yeah, it's like, you know, Tobey Maguire just destroys Tom Holland and all this stuff, and he's just like, oh, I just can't. Have you seen the new? And I'm just like, dude, like
Yeah, he was trying to
it's
say
not
like,
that.
have you seen the new ones? And you're like, yeah, they're not good, and it was so funny. He was getting
Yeah,
all riled up.
that is one thing that I will say. I agree with you. I think Tobey Maguire was the best Peter Parker, most memorable at the very least.
Hmm.
You can't say that Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield made classics, and Tobey Maguire did. I bet you a lot of people are going to try and argue that Tom Holland did, and that we're just not there yet because it hasn't been around long enough. I'd say, in my personal opinion, I don't think that's true at all. I think Tom Holland movies
They're
are
solid.
good in a lot of ways. They're solid
They're
all the way
solid
through,
films.
but
Yeah.
they're solid, but they're not classics. I don't really. A lot of Marvel stuff is like that. You know, it's just it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just it's entertainment, and it's what it is, and it works. But at the end of it, I'm not thinking like, oh, that one scene, you know, it was so like the upside down Spider-Man kiss and stuff
Oh
that
yeah.
Tobey Maguire did. Like you can't, and the scene where he holds the train. Like there's
Oh
so
yeah.
many moments.
Spider-Man
Plus,
2 Disclosure is my favorite movie. I thought that well, not my favorite movie of all time, but that's my favorite Spider-Man movie. Dude, I've rewatched the scenes of him fighting Doc Ock. It's just so
oh yeah,
good, dude. I love those movies. Anyways, I feel like we're kind of going off on a tangent right now. But that was one funny ass part of the trip was I've never met Rustage before, and I never really talked to him at that point. And we just got into it about Spider-Man just out of the blue. It
dude.
was so funny. Oh
Oh,
man.
so good. Yeah, I I remember that. I can't remember. I think I also got into a pretty heated argument about rap. Of course, every time I'm around
Oh
other
yeah.
rappers and they're talking about who's the greatest of all time, and I say Drake, they're all like, "You're an idiot," pretty much. They don't say it, but they look at me like that, and then we all argue about it, and it's great fun.
They act like they're like, wait, you do know there's other people that rap, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
I
they
remember.
don't think you know.
I think I think it's because at the first NPC that you weren't actually, we were talking about the same thing, and Dan Bull, um, he asked me why I thought that, and I told him it was because I think no matter what song Drake's on, no matter what rappers are rapping next to him, he commands the track. He's always going to be in charge, like just energy wise. And he had said, well, when it comes to mechanics, blah blah, not him in particular, but everybody was saying like, when it comes to mechanics, Eminem's better, and there's a lot of better mechanical rappers. So over time, I've actually kind of changed my argument to be, if we're talking about rap, it needs to be broken down into different sections. But anyways, I don't want to get into that.
Right.
But that was another argument that happened. It was fun. But other than that, it was pretty much just like, dude, we were getting slam drunk. I'm not gonna lie, I had just come off a Fortnite song myself. I had literally recorded it the day before we left, and it was Go. Go was the song I was working on, and I yelled a bunch, so I had no voice already. And I
Yeah.
show up, and we got like, I literally, my voice was gone, and we start slamming White Claws and just getting super wasted, and my voice kept dissipating even further. It was actually kind of freaking me out, but I was having such a good time, and it was so loud in our Airbnb with everybody talking and music playing, and Daddy Fat Snaps making his beats, that I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
oh yeah, he was making beats for sure. And it was great. It was cool, but the whole time you're in this really loud environment, and I'm like, oh shit, I already don't have a voice. Now we're getting drunk, which alcohol is really bad for your,
Yeah.
bad for your throat. And we're smoking blacks,
Hmm.
and I'm yelling the whole time. And I remember thinking, oh like shit, I really hope that I'm able to perform.
To clarify, blacks are clove cigars.
Yes.
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 They're kind of like a unspoken guarantee whenever we're away together. As weird as that sounds, we always have to be blacks with us. But yeah, I remember everyone was getting down on the beats. There was a period of time where there was so much beat making. He was, because he had his what was it, that beat thing, that pad had a bunch of pads on it.
Yeah, he had a MPC. Was it? It's an MPC
Or
that
M or N.
M.
MPC. Okay.
Yeah, he was playing an MPC at NPC.
Right. That's what threw me off. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he had that going. I guess I really did. Thank you for clarifying earlier when I said blacks, because that could be taken a lot of ways. It's literally a black clove cigar that is flavored like Christmas.
Yes, they're amazing. Well, yeah, because I knew what you meant, and then I thought about it. I was like, anyone that heard you say we were smoking blacks probably doesn't sound right. So I wanted to
Right.
clarify.
They're probably like, what the hell
Oh.
is he talking about? Is he going up? Yeah. Well, thank you for clarifying that. Because yeah, I'm referring to a cigar that is it's a black colored cigar that tastes like Christmas. And every time we're together, we always smoke them because that's what we do.
We have
when
for years too, like back in the day, dude. Anyways, but
Oh,
yeah,
man.
they're
Oh, yeah.
like I said, like this unspoken requirement to our many adventures. But yeah, dude,
Oh, yeah.
they were like making beats. I remember he was passing it around. Everyone was having a ton of fun. It was great. It was really great. And I remember after the first night, we all found out that we were sharing rooms, and
Yep.
Nick and I, per usual, we shared a bed together, and it was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was lovely. And I do, okay, I do remember one of the mornings I woke up, Daddy Fat Snaps, being the boss he is steaming his clothes. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, he's just steaming away. And I was like, dude, you are so fucking cool. Like, you steam your clothes. And so I got all hyped up. I was like, dude, can I steam my shirt? Do you remember this?
No, I was sleeping maybe.
Oh, dude, no one on camera.
I don't remember this.
No one can see this. You don't remember when I burned myself?
Oh, dude.
I still have a
do
scar.
remember you having a burn, but I wasn't awake for that.
Okay, so yeah, you must have been passed out then still. I take this little handheld steamer from him. I have my shirt draped over my arm, and I put the steamer straight up to the shirt, and of course it's right on where my arm is, and it's not even there
Oh.
for like half a second. I pull back because it hurt, it burns. And I to this day still have a scar It's very faded, but it's pretty significant though. Like it bubbled up bad, and I had a really bad scar from that.
Dude, that
Um,
looks so brutal too. I remember you showed me right after you'd done it, and it looked so nasty and painful.
yeah, it
Oh
was it
man,
was pretty brutal, but that was one of the mornings that I will never forget because that was hilarious. But my gosh, there's so many stories running through my head. Sorry, let's just go back and forth because I already have another one on my head.
oh yeah,
So,
oh yeah, go for it.
go-
Because I'm reliving this right now.
oh yeah, I
This
guess
is
I'm telling you
great.
stuff you might not remember. Okay, well I do remember that when we all went to that big barbecue restaurant, we were all standing in line. Remember
That's
that?
right.
We were
I
all
forgot
standing
about
in
that
line
too.
and we were all hanging out, and I was standing next to Dan Bull, and funny enough, my brother James has actually listened to Dan Bull long before I had started doing what I do. And so he's more or less a fan, and he knows him, and he's seen, his videos that he really likes. So I was like, "Hey man," I said to Dan Bull, I was like, "Hey, can we record a video really quick?" And he's like, "Sure." I was like, "My brother James really likes your music, and I want to just send him without any context." So I sent him a video of Dan Bull just saying, "Hi James, I love you." That's so funny. I was like, "Thanks, man." And my brother obviously freaked out and thought it was so super funny. But the highlight of that experience at the restaurant though was that there was a guy standing outside yelling at everyone like, "All right, everybody, like keep in line. This many tables." And like he was trying to control because there was a lot of people outside waiting to
Yeah.
get in.
Oh yeah. Lots.
And too, like the odds of this happening are so funny. This guy realized, I don't even know how he realized it, but I think the first person he realized or recognized, I should say, to some degree, was Daddy Fat Snaps.
Oh yeah. He was like a huge Daddy Fat Snaps fan. That's like the whole. He was like losing it. He was like, "Are
Oh
you
yeah, oh
are
yeah.
you Daddy Fat Snaps?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "What the?" He's like, "Holy
Dude,
shit!
his
I
whole
had no idea."
his whole character that he was like, "Hey everybody, come on, keep in line." It completely changed after that. It's like, "Oh my god, Daddy Fat Snaps." He's like, "Dude, I practiced." I don't know if you heard him say this, but he's like, "I practiced the voice. I am Venom." Like he was like,
Yes, dude. I remember that was fucking awesome.
he was
He
freaking out, dude. Oh
he was
man.
literally the biggest Daddy Fat Snaps fan I've ever seen. And then he recognized Dan,
It,
and then he was like, "Whoa, Dan and Rustage," I think.
yeah, well,
And then he's just
I
like, "What?"
I think what because I was talking to him and I was like, "Do you know who Damble is?" And he's like, "Yeah." Is it? Oh, and he like freaked out meeting Damble. I was like, "Do you know Rustage? Do you know?" I just started naming everyone like JT and Rocket Gaming and
Yeah, oh
everything.
yeah.
And he's just like, "Oh my god!" Like he was freaking out because as for I guess any fans of Nerdcore, if you are subscribed to all the channels, I mean, seeing all of them
Oh
in one
yeah.
place would probably throw you off. And this guy was just so
He was losing it. He was
mind
losing his
blown.
mind. That was amazing. I will say the barbecue was not that good,
I know.
if I'm being
Hey, I
honest.
cracked. Whoa, that was weird. I know. Anyways,
Whoa,
never done that before.
whoa. I'm rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I like it. Keep rubbing. So yeah, I agree that the barbecue was it was okay. I mean, it wasn't a barbecue I've ever had before because Nick and I have traveled to Texas and had Texas barbecue. We've gone to North Carolina, had North Carolina
Yeah.
barbecue, and Tennessee barbecue was the least favorite out of the three because
Oh, easily.
the barbecue changes where you go. And I know for like North Carolina, you got like the more salty kind of vinegary.
Vinegary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
then Texas is more of like the sweeter, would you say? Is it like a sweeter,
Yeah,
more
I would say Texas is the most about the meat. It's all about the smoked
yeah.
atmosphere, like making sure it's smoked, and the barbecue sauce is kind of just like it's an afterthought. Um,
I'm sorry, I just had a flashback of when we were younger and you would talk about cooking barbecues over like or cooking burgers, sorry, over a applewood like wood or whatever. Do you remember that? Like you would talk about
oh
getting a
yeah.
specific kind of wood and cooking. Oh my, it just the way you talk about it, you have a passion for this stuff. So just now as you're describing it, I just
Oh, dude. Oh my god. I remember just telling you back in the day, like, dude, you gotta have an oak pit grill, and you gotta do it all right, dude.
oh my
I'm like
gosh.
really into barbecue. Like I I love barbecue, so I was quite disappointed. I got to say, downtown Nashville, you guys step it up. Your
Yeah.
barbecue sucks.
I mean, you could argue that the place wasn't very good, maybe, but it was bumping. There was tons of people there. I mean,
there was
it was
so many
packed,
people,
so
which made me have hopes because obviously, usually the best restaurants are the ones where you have like lines at the door, and I'm like, oh sweet, this is gonna be bomb. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
no,
I shouldn't have
yeah,
said it sucks.
it
But
wasn't bad. I think compared to I mean, even the California barbecue and stuff, like it's just, I don't know.
yeah,
It just didn't do it for
yeah.
us. And I vaguely remember getting oh my gosh, I got like, what's it called? The pig. What's the pig made out of at Firestone?
Pulled pork.
Pulled pork. Thank you. I remember I got that, and like it was I guess the barbecue sauce or whatever you want to call it, because it wasn't barbecue sauce. It was like it was
Yeah,
like water. It was really weird. Like it
yeah.
was the consistency wasn't thick at all. Anyways, it was just something I'd never had before, and it was good for what it was, but it wasn't something I would have again. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, say that's a nice way of saying it.
yeah,
That's a nicer way than I was saying. I definitely was a little let down. But that being said, the environment was cool. It was cool. I out of all the places though, Austin being the first place, I'm super biased because I went to Austin like 4 times and I just love that city. Like it was just so clean
yeah.
and like man, all the food that I had was good. One taco, just like all the Mexican food that I ate down there. Salt Lake barbecue was off the chain.
Mm.
So I was kind of spoiled, I think, in my when I went there. I was like, and also Wilmington had good barbecue when we went and shot the Fortnite video.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Um,
Nothing beats Texas barbecue, but I will
no,
say
yeah, true,
North
true,
Carolina barbecue was second for me in terms of like if we're comparing the three of them. It
yeah.
was really good. But yeah, that was a funny experience, and I remember after we were all there, Jack was insisting that we all went and did karaoke. Do you remember that?
Oh, and them.
And
I
yeah,
think wasn't Nem was into the idea too. I will say of all the people, Nem, I didn't see Nem a whole lot. He kind of
well,
wasn't around.
he didn't stay with us though because he was with his wife, I think, at a hotel.
Right, right,
Um,
and that makes sense.
yeah.
But the night after the performance, especially, I think that they all went out and um
Yeah.
they went out to karaoke and did their own thing, kind of.
Well,
But
maybe I'm confusing it. I just remember maybe it wasn't karaoke then. I think it was that he wanted to just go out and go to bars and stuff. Is probably what I'm thinking
right,
of because
right,
I
right,
do
right.
remember they did go to karaoke after the event, but I just remember that he was trying to get people to go. He's like, "Dude, Alex, come on, you got to go." He's like, "Nick, you got to go," and everyone's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I want to head back." And I felt like me and Daddy Fast Snaps were together a lot of the trip. Funnily enough, we were just hanging out together all the time, and
Yeah.
me and him always more or less agreed on everything because he was like, "Man, I don't want to do that. I want to go back and like chill." And I was like, "Thank God I'm not alone," because I'm like an old man and after I'm like out for a period of time, I want to just go home. So I was ready
Dude, you
to go
guys are a
back.
match made in heaven. You're both super tall and you just connected. You know what I mean? It's like it was meant to be.
Dude,
Um,
we both loved food. And he loved shoes, which I mean, I like my shoes. They protect my feet, but he like loves shoes.
oh yeah, he loves shoes. Oh yeah.
And I remember we were all so impressed by them because he would always have different shoes, and everyone's like, "Damn, those are clean!"
Dude,
Like,
they were sick.
yeah,
Dude, that one pair of Nikes he had that was like neon multicolored
hmm
was so fucking cool. I remember thinking, I want those shoes so bad. Like, I don't
I
even know where he gets these.
I think I think he mentioned to us, he's like, I don't spend money on a lot of things that are expensive, but shoes, I have no limit or something like that. Like he has so many pairs of shoes. I was like, what a
Yeah.
boss, dude. That was
Guy's
so
so
funny.
smooth when he talks. Like Leon could sell me anything just by talking to me. Like he could, I'll just buy it. You know, he's one of those guys where he could be like, "Hey man, look, I know." He could be like, "Look, I know your car insurance is cheap and it's full coverage, but you should buy my car insurance. It's not as good and it's more money." And I'll be like, "Sure."
Dude, he has a way with words, man. I mean,
It,
lyrically and just in life. I feel like I could learn a lot from that guy when I was just talking to him.
yeah. Oh
Smooth
yeah.
dude. Yeah. That was
Dude, I love
funny.
that guy.
I
Oh yeah.
I know that wait, do you have a story? Because they just keep coming to me now. You must
Oh
have
dude,
something.
now I'm just thinking about all the times. I mean, dude, oh my, yeah, meeting Daddy Fat Snaps was great because I've been talking to Fat Snaps for years. We kind of been coming up together. Like We kind of came around, started doing it at the same time. We're both living in the rap world of nerdcore, trying to do our thing, and so I like conversate with Daddy Fat Snaps frequently, and I love the dude. So when we met him, it was just like, "Dang, it really all just makes sense. Like
Yeah.
everything makes sense. He's really that cool. He's really that chill dude that just he was really fun to hang out with. I love Jeff too. I love everybody there, but obviously I had a special connection with a small group of people that I was already comfortable with, or B, I'd already previously talked to.
Right,
Um,
yeah. But
and
I was
yeah,
gonna say too with Snaps, how big was he and how big were you when you met him? Because you were smaller than me, right?
yeah, I think, like in subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was like,
To give
well, I
people like
blew
a
up.
timeline of context, because I know that it was a long time ago.
Oh yeah, that was like 2016. I don't want to say I blew up, but I had a video blow up. I think on my channel pretty early on, as we had mentioned in the first podcast. I was doing the Pokemon Go stuff, and so like right off the bat, I got like 20,000 subs, 25,000 subs, and I joined that Discord called Video Game Musicians. Back then was a lot more active than it is now. Nobody uses it anymore, but and Fat Snaps was one of the people in there, and he put up this like history of Nintendo video, and I remember thinking, "Oh my god, this guy's a genius. He did it such a good job." I think he was only like 3,000 subs or something, but I heard his music and I was like, "This guy is amazing," and I never really looked back. But since then, it's just been a matter of grinding and climbing and trying to learn how to be a better YouTuber and a better musician. And Daddy Fat Snaps is one of those guys that I've kind of been on the journey with.
Yeah,
So
from like
I'll
the very
always have a
beginning. Yeah.
special, yeah, since the very beginning. So I'll always have a special place in my heart for Daddy Fast Snaps, because we be doing this thing together, and we talk frequently. But dude, you guys had an extra special connection, and it was fun. It was fun to watch, because I'm kind of a like I actually really like hide from people, and it's not because I don't like them, but I literally like go to the area where nobody else is going, because
Right.
I don't know why I'm weird like that, but I remember so many good stories. Damn, the the pizza. I guess we can talk. Wait, that's so out of order. Hang on. Let's bring it back first to the day of the event, because I don't know if you remember, but remember they had everybody doing the pre-performance thing. The
Oh yeah.
That was a big thing that happened.
That
And
was the
they were
night before, I believe.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah that was the night before. Was that Friday night? Yeah.
it must have been. Yeah, we were all in the kitchen and we were all like performing our songs for everyone else, just to kind of
Yep.
get any jitters out and just practice. That was fun. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. And I didn't do that. They told me not to, because they could already hear my voice being so gone.
that's
Which
right. I
yep,
forgot about
they
that.
it
Yeah.
was bad. I couldn't even speak, dude. And honestly, the performance could have been a lot better for that reason. But I also got really drunk, which I'm never gonna do again, because
Hey, I just fast forward to your performance, dude. There's that picture of me. I was having a awesome time. It was great, dude. Okay, perfect quote from Nick. It's all about energy, and your energy was fucking awesome. Like it
Let's
was,
go.
everyone was so hyped up. It was so much fun. But your voice was completely gone down the toilet
Yeah.
because
I'm like, yeah, I was known to make them freeze. I remember thinking like, oh, I sound like a 80-year-old person who's been smoking their entire life. Like I couldn't even.
it was that
Oh,
like, but way worse. Like you could barely like you could obviously talk, but even when you talked, it was like, you sound like Batman. It was
hey
brutal.
there. Welcome to NPC. My name's Fable.
Like, swear to me. Yeah, it was awesome.
Where is she? Dude, such a good
Oh my
movie.
god, we should just quote The
Oh,
Dark Knight. Anyways, yeah, I do remember that we were in the kitchen and we were all performing, and you did perform with me though. I was the only person, because my music instrumentally has so much stuff in it. I didn't like the idea of having a backing track of my music for some reason. I was like,
yeah.
and it's much more in my comfort zone to perform something acoustic live, because that's what I did back in the day when I did perform. It was acoustic. So I asked Nick if he wanted to perform "Holding On," our Venom song, and we ended up doing that acoustic, which is kind of cool, because at the performance it was the only performance that was unplugged, if you will, and stripped
Yeah.
down like that. But we
Yep.
did practice that, which was cool. And that is also when we gained a ton of respect for not that we didn't have respect for him, but a ton of respect for None Like Josh. That guy can perform like nobody's
Oh, he killed it.
business. Dude,
Oh
even in the
yeah, you could tell
kitchen, man, it was amazing. I was like, what the hell?
he got on the table, dude. That was insane. I remember that. Yeah, none like Josh is just he's a performer. You know that guy. You could tell that's where he's comfortable, and it's really cool to see because I wish I had more of that in me right now. I'm not like that at all, I'd say. But back in the
Same.
day when we were in bands, we really were trying to be like that, and the energy was high, and the songs were being written to be performed, and I kind of did realize after that NPC, like, man, people like Josh inspired me to want to try to write songs that are meant to be performed live, and also to just get that comfort and that energy level on stage that he had because he really blew it. I think he was one of the first people to perform, probably because they wanted to set the pace of the show. If I'm guessing, because he's a guy that was he one of the first guys, or am I wrong here?
I
Um,
remember when he performed, it was dark outside. Which I know
oh
it was dark outside for most of the performances, but I want to say he actually performed a little later because not that it matters, but there's a
yeah,
story along with him performing that happened to me that I'll come back to. That's really weird and funny. But yeah, anyways, him and Game Boy too. Game Boy was great.
oh
He was
yeah,
up there so many times on featuring performing features he had been on with other people, and he killed it too. It was
yeah.
awesome.
Game Boy Jones might have been on stage more than anybody there, and he killed it.
Yeah.
Really good performers as well. And yeah, Cam from Video Game Rap Battles, they were all really good. Everybody was good, honestly. I felt very unprepared next to a lot of those guys because you could tell a lot of them go to events and try to perform, and they do that hustle, which I completely respect. And
Yeah.
yeah, they push me to want to be better. And that was cool, dude. Everybody killed it though. Like honestly, that entire thing from start to finish was great. IMO.
Oh
Like
yeah. No, it was awesome. And I know now we're more or less talking about the performance, which we kind of fast forwarded a bit because there's definitely more that happened before that. But let's come back to that because I already have so much stuff I want to say about everyone that did such a good job. And I
oh
feel like
hell yeah.
that's gonna take a while. Um but so stepping back before that then, we were all in the kitchen performing our songs, which was really fun. And I remember I remember we ordered pizza. I feel like this is a good segue because
Oh
that
yeah.
was an experience that was not a good one. That was very frustrating.
It was terrible. It was awful. I ordered pizza from Papa John's, and it was the worst experience of my life. I ordered this pizza. People are probably like, "Wow, what a drama king, queen, whatever you want to call me." It's just pizza, but like we were starving. There was many of us that were very hungry, and I was gonna order all this pizza for everyone. I was like, "Sweet." I placed the order on the app, and it's just hours go by. It was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours,
Yeah. Oh no,
and
it at that point we were like something happened. And I remember Snap started looking at his phone to order pizza from somewhere else because it
yeah,
just wasn't going to come, which was
yeah,
yeah.
and to kind of make a long story short, we eventually went through this miserable process where I kept calling them, and there was like a couple times where they said, "Yeah, your pizza's gonna be out. It's getting made." Like they told me like lies, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And then we kept waiting, kept waiting, kept waiting. Call back, and eventually I speak to a manager, and they're like, "Yeah, it's not happening." Or I don't remember exactly what. I don't even maybe you, like Fat Snaps actually remembers. I don't know, but it was one of the worst customer service experiences I've ever had. And thankfully, Daddy Fat Snaps came in clutch, and he ordered that bomb uh cheese pizza, dude. Where was that from? It was so good.
I
It was so good.
I can't remember because it wasn't like a regular chain. I feel like it was a local place. But he ordered a
Yeah.
bunch of pizzas and we were all very happy after that. But I do yeah, dude, that experience was just so terrible because I remember you were calling and they weren't even answering the phone like 90% of the time,
Yep.
and it was just
It
that
was
was just
insane.
yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. But because you don't fuck with a man's pizza.
That's right. And I'd already paid for it.
It's
I was just
pizza.
waiting. That's pizza, dude. I was just waiting for my pizza, and it's fine. If stuff happens and it takes an extra 45 minutes to deliver, I get it. I've worked at a pizza joint. I worked at a pizza joint with you. We
That's
both
true.
worked at a pizza joint together. So I've worked in customer service. I've made pizzas. I've bussed tables. I've been a waiter. Like
But
I get it.
what could they have done that would have made the whole experience better though? Fucking called
Communicated.
you. Yeah, communicated, said, "Hey, your pizza's
Yes.
gonna be late." At least then you can be like, "Oh, thanks for letting me know." But no, it was like ringing, 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 nothing, ringing, ringing, nothing, and then like the sixth time, hello? Like they're lost. Where the hell's my pizza? It's coming. Like, sweet, thanks.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
coming. I'm like,
didn't they say
when?
that your payment didn't go through or something, or you got double charged? Didn't that happen?
Yes, they said that my payment didn't go through. I called my bank. They're like, everything looks fine on our end. And then I called back and I tried to ring in another order. It got double charged. Then I had
Oh
to
my god.
veto this stuff and then call and get them to do a claim to put all the money back. I'm like, this is just so stupid. It's pizza. Please, God, just give me pizza. All I want is pizza,
Dude, ever since Papa John has been out of the business, man, the pizzas are going
Man,
down. The
yeah,
quality,
whoever stepped up to the plate is swinging and a missing.
swinging and a missing. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it all worked out because Snaps ended up getting better pizza than Papa John's. But
Yeah, true.
yeah, what an experience. And now that we're talking about food, I feel like we should also talk about the breakfast place.
Oh
So
yeah.
this,
Oh man.
oh my god, one of these mornings, Snaps and I are like hungry because we're massive, and we're like, we want to eat some food. We want to have some breakfast, you know.
Wait, are you saying that people that aren't massive don't get hungry?
No, I mean, like, you do, but it's just not the same, you know. Like, it's just something different about it for me and him. I think he would agree. um, but I like go on my phone and I just type in like breakfast, and I, for the life of me, can't remember the name of it. It was like a single name place, like a woman's name or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this place has good reviews. Let's all go there. So a ton of us went. I think there was like 8 or 9 of us. It was like you, me, Snaps, Cam, Rustage,
CG5.
CG5, Zach Boucher, Game Boy. Like, we all pretty much, like half of us at least, all went there.
Yeah.
One of the times there was definitely more than one visit to this place because it was so good. But we
Fire.
go there and we put our names in. We're all like waiting outside and they call us in, and we didn't understand how it worked at first because we assumed we were going to get menus and order our food. But they're like, no, this is like family style. Like, you all sit down. We're just going to bring you a shitload of food and you eat it. And we're like, okay,
All right.
that sounds okay.
We were kind
I
of
guess.
scared.
I
We were
know.
kind of scared at first. Remember,
Yeah.
we are like, wait, no menu.
You don't fuck with a man's breakfast. I was like, this is, I know what I like. I don't know about this. You being in control of what I eat. But my God, it was absolutely amazing. They brought out like for breakfast of all, like, not for of all places, of all things, but we're not from like the South, so this is different for us. But they brought out like fried chicken
And
and
biscuits.
biscuits and,
Right off the bat.
oh my gosh, potatoes, gravy, like country gravy and cinnamon rolls and
Oh my
dude,
God, it was so good.
and they brought us something to wash it down. Sweet tea. My God.
Sweet tea.
There's sweet tea.
Dude. And then they start bringing you regular breakfast stuff, and you're like, I'm not ready for this, but I'm ready.
Oh,
Like,
dude, eggs, bacon,
they ease
sausage.
you into it.
Yeah, dude. It was, I just remember we all left there being so happy. We were like, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
absolutely incredible. I'm sure me and Snaps talked about it in detail after, but I know that that was not the only time. We went back there. I don't know if we went there 3 times. I think it was just 2 because we were only there for 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second time, just as amazing.
Oh yeah.
So good. Sorry, I you can't explain how good it was because you didn't eat it, listener. But it was very good. You just
Right.
gotta believe me.
It was so good. You get like angry. You don't get it. It was fucking good. All right. You don't understand it, dude. No, I totally agree, man. We went back the second time because it was so good, and it was the same food again, but it didn't matter.
No,
it was like
the second time they brought out cinnamon rolls, and
that's right.
that's when I got even more
That's
respect
right.
for them because I was like, you just surprised me with this shit. Like, what's happening right now? It was the best chicken I've ever had in my life. The best fried chicken ever.
That's when I gained more respect for them. they brought out the cinnamon rolls, and I was like, "Fuck it, that's it,
dude." It was done. Like, they don't just, you go there, every day. They don't bring you the same eggs and bacon. They bring you extra stuff, and it was just so good. And you would always wash it down with sweet tea, and
Yes.
it was absolutely incredible.
Dude, it was so good.
Everyone enjoyed it so much, and I just remember, I don't know, like, I think You know what it is? Because you were saying earlier about me and Snaps hanging out a lot. I think that's what it was, dude. I think it was the food that brought us together because we just we would obviously eat more than most daily everybody and just pile our
Dude.
plates with food, and we would just sit there and eat food together. We'd break bread together, man. It was great.
One time I walked into the kitchen. I don't remember which day it was at NPC, but I walked in, and it was Leon. He was standing, Daddy Fat Snaps. He was standing in the kitchen, and he just looks at me. He's holding Fruit Loops, one of the personal size Fruit Loop cans, and I go, "Oh, nice, dude. You found the cereal." And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Watch this." He like grabs another another one. It was like Golden Grams or some shit. I don't remember.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
grabs it in the other hand, and he just pops them like sodas. And he just like throws some milk in there, and he's just downing them. And he's like, "I'm probably gonna have a few more after this." And I was like, "Dude, I can't even be mad. I respect the hell out of you right now. Like,
Dude,
you're an animal." Like,
he made me like want to eat more, which isn't a good thing, but it was amazing at the time. Like I remember
oh
seeing
yeah,
him eating multiple mini cereal boxes, not the boxes, but the contents on the inside, and it was just absolutely inspiring. And I remember I just started just having
Inspiring, yeah.
tons of cereal as well, and I was like, "This is amazing." Um,
Oh yeah, dude,
Man,
so good.
this podcast episode is like Daddy Fat Snap highlights pretty much because we're
I
just
know,
talking
dude.
about everything he
We're just
did.
talking about, dude. He's a cool dude, man. It's just an awe. I just didn't like, he's just, the guy is also just such a massive presence. You know what? We don't need to keep talking about Daddy
I have
Fat Snaps.
one more thing to say though about Snaps because this was a really funny thing for everybody when it was like discovered from me saying it and showing the picture of him being a bodybuilder before, and
Oh yeah,
everyone
that's
like
crazy.
lost their minds. And I remember getting texts from like maybe it was Vinny or someone that texted me. He's like, "Hey man, can you send me that picture of of Leon when he was massive?" And I was like, yeah, I guess I have it saved on my phone, of course, so I'll send it to you." And everyone was just absolutely mind blown because he was, it was just crazy.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, okay, moving on. What else do we got?
Shoot, man. I just remember, man, White Claws, food, people that do what we do being awesome. Performance went really well. Everybody killed it. I had a blast performing Holding On With You. That was really fun.
That was really fun. I feel like we're sliding someone right now, dude. Who did we also spend a lot of our time with? The Cage, the Bone Cage,
The
dude.
Cage, dude.
Bone Cage.
Oh, Jeff.
What a great guy. He was so funny, and his
Jeff.
performance was incredible. It was hilarious, and Jack wouldn't shut up with the whole "you want to get real small and get inside your butthole" thing. That
Oh my God,
he kept
yes,
singing
dude.
that the whole, and Bone Cage just sitting there, just kind of like smiling and being like, "This is like the 30th time you're singing it to
I want to get
me.
real small and crawl inside your butthole.
Oh man,
Oh my God, dude. Jeff is a wizard, man. Like Jeff is somebody else that I talk to frequently and I've just known for a lot of years now, and he is so like people don't he's not misunderstood, cuz I feel like people understand him, but like you really got to know that Jeff is just a completely normal guy with like a really weird funny sense of humor to understand him.
oh
Um
yeah,
But dude, like when we hang out in real life, like he's just like he's like the chillest dude I've ever met. Like it would be impossible. He's one of those guys. It would be impossible to be mad at Jeff. I couldn't do it.
yeah. It's not possible. I've tried. It doesn't work. I ended up loving him more, which kind of turned out to be a good thing, because he's awesome. He was super funny and he was super, super chill. And I think if I remember correctly, because we were smoking the blacks, the cloves, um, the one and only Jeff, similar to your first trip that I wasn't there for, was having dips, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, I was doing it with him too, but I started noticing that when I did it, it made my sinus problem worse.
Oh,
So
okay.
I stopped. But
Well, a lot of our hangouts would be out in the courtyard area because I obviously was wanting to like smoke these cigars, and you would too, and then Jeff would be wanting to have a dip. And so, wow, good thing I have a pop filter because that was a hard pee.
Yeah.
We all went outside, and on multiple occasions, and we would all just go out there and just be hanging out and just be talking about stuff, and it was actually great because multiple times, like, everyone was outside. Like, I remember
Oh
we had
yeah.
like circles of people that were just getting to know each other and talk. Like, there was moments where I was with you, Jeff, and Leon, and then I went over and I was talking to like CG5, Charlie, and like DA Games. I was going over to talk to JT and Russell, and like everyone was just kind of. It was just great, dude. Everyone got along
Oh
so
yeah.
well. Like,
Oh man.
it was great.
It was so good. Dan is there. Dan's awesome, dude. Everybody, like I'm talking about some people more than others, and that's not because I don't like other people. It's just like obviously there's only a limited amount of time that you get to spend at these things, and there's so many people there that like I wish so badly I could have. That's one thing about NPC that I don't like is that it's so fun and it's so great and there's so many good memories and everybody gets along so well that I want time to like make these memories and stories with everybody that I love to work with and love to be around and I feel like that's the only thing I don't like is when I leave I always feel a little bit cheated. I'm like, man, I could have done that for 3 more days.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's bittersweet because not being able to have more than 3 days
yeah.
makes you just enjoy it that much more. Ironically, but I know what you mean. Like, and I think that's like in any scenario you are thrown into a group of people, you're going to gravitate towards like-minded people or similar kind of what's the word, like temperaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I just think, oh, thank you. My wife brought me tea
Oh, very nice.
because I'm in England and she waves hello to everybody.
A cuppa.
A cup of tea.
That's right.
But yeah, so I don't know. It was great, and I agree with you though because I guess if I had one regret, it would be I didn't get to spend enough time with everyone. Because there
Yeah.
was so many of
Yep.
us, and there's going to be more people in 2020. I think Oreo and Chi Chi, I think, are the new ones coming along. Um,
Yeah.
but I
Yep.
think in total it's like 20 plus people, and it's in 3 days. You can't really give that much time and effort to everyone as much as you'd love to. So
Yeah, and it's
yeah,
like, obviously, I'm gonna gravitate towards the people I've already seen, like, 6 times because 'cause I'm super comfortable, and that makes it so, like, I could spend weeks with just those people, and so meeting the people that I haven't met yet is hard because 'cause I'm like, "Man, I really wanna talk to these people, I really wanna get to know them, I actually wanna spend time, but I also so badly wanna hang out with the people I already know and, like, that
yeah,
I never get to see," and it's
yeah.
just oh, man, it's a blessing and a curse because it's like it's such a fun getaway, but you almost get a little I'm not gonna say depression because that's a strong word, but you always get a little like a little post NPC depression afterwards because you're like,
Oh, I mean, it was the
oh
first
man,
one I've been to, but I agree. Like, and I think everyone felt like that. It was like, damn, you don't ever get to be around people that do what we do. Like, it's so
yeah,
niche, and there's only like 20, 25, 20, whatever of us, and probably up to 30. I don't know. And I'm trying to include like the grand scope of like everyone,
yeah,
but like in the world. So being able to be around like-minded people and it's crazy. It is so
oh
much
yeah,
fun. Um,
dude, and Russell and Vinny, every time I'm around those guys, they're a blast. I mean, Russell is contagious, man. That guy is his laughter and his energy, and just when you get Russell going, man, it's so fun. And
dude.
obviously Christian too. Dude, when you put Christian and Russell, do you remember the night? Dude,
Okay, I was about to say. I think we're about to say the same thing.
do you remember when Christian, Russell, and DA Games
Yes.
were were upstairs? And at one point, I walk into a room. Shit, you not. I'm just like, I'm out for a drink with you and Jeff or something. And I'm walking in. I walk up to the upper level, and I'm just kind of like expecting to go to bed. And I walk into the kitchen, and DA Games and Christian and Russell all look at me like they're guilty or something, and they all instantly freeze. And I'm like, what did I walk into? Like what's happening here? And then DA Games holds up a piece of pizza. He folds it, and he starts going, and he's like looking. He's looking at me, and he's eating the pizza. He's like slapping it together like it's a mouth. And he just starts going, and I'm like, dude, what is happening? And then Christian and Russell start
Oh,
dying. They
dude,
fall on the floor.
they were
They're dead.
crying with laughter. They
They're
were so
crying. They're
drunk.
actually Like Christian's like crawling on the floor. He's like crying tears. He's like, I can't keep laughing. It hurts so bad. Russell's dying, and I just remember like I'm like moments like these. They just don't happen often. Like you really got to get the right group of people together
Yeah.
to have some interactions like this. Like obviously I remember being like just so taken back at first,
Yeah.
and then instantly just dying because I'm like, these guys are just clearly everybody that's creative and locked in their room making songs all day need to get together more often because
Yeah.
we as a whole. I mean, I know that it's been a little different for you and recently just because you've been working and stuff, you've been around people to a certain degree. So like maybe like lack of a
Oh,
social life,
you're saying like
but
YouTuber versus YouTuber with a job.
well, no, I think equally YouTuber with a job can have just as much fun because in a way you're still just as locked up. You're a creative that doesn't speak
Oh,
with other creatives often, but
I thought you were kind
um,
of saying like the whole idea of, because we've talked about this, how like less human interaction because you are a YouTuber
yes.
and you're in your creative space constantly versus being forced to go to work and actually
Yeah,
interact with people.
yeah, because that's there's blessings in the curse of the full time gig, and I know I've talked to you about this before because you're probably going to be going full time this year, and
Right.
that's amazing. And I know Daddy Fat Snaps is about to go full time himself, and he was asking me the other day, like, do you like it and stuff like that, and I just told him it's a blessing. I would never change it for anything. I love it more than anything, but it has its own battles. One of the biggest battles is that I'm a very social person. I was previously to this. I've been doing this for 4 years now. But when I was in the Navy, when I was working at jobs, and when I was in school, I really, really took for granted the element of, like you said, being forced to socialize, being around people, and doing things, interacting, conversating with people I don't know. Because when you go full time, and you're just in like I quite literally don't talk to people unless it's you or people on FaceTime. Most of the time, I'm generally just in creative mode. I'm creating music. I'm full timing, just in my bedroom and going there and seeing other people doing the same thing, but actually being able to relate on that level because it's so hard to find people that understand that. Because most
Right.
most people, even if they're self-employed, are traveling. They're working with other people, and we're in this weird niche thing where we're not. And yeah, just seeing those three dying of laughter and seeing other people that normally don't get to hang out with people who just do this was special because I don't think that you can even describe it on a podcast like we're trying to. You have to feel that like NPC has an energy to it, and I'm like a weird hippie guy, and I'm always talking about energy. Sorry,
You got energy, got a
but
lot of energy.
yeah, I got energy. But yeah, that's one of those things where NPC has energy and everybody gets along because of it, because you just feel it. It's like
Yeah.
it's time to have fun and to interact and to I mean get down on a really personal level with people who understand you.
Yeah. I think that that's the best part, is that it's not like surface level meeting someone, because you are sleeping in the same house as them. You're waking up in the morning talking to them, hanging out all night, like you actually really get to know these people. And kind of what we were saying about how you don't get to spend as much time with people as you hoped that you would. I still got to have great experiences with everyone, and it was so awesome. You know, it. Anyways, I feel like it, like you said, it is so indescribable, because, and that's why earlier I was saying it's like doing something that no one does, and then getting with a group of people that all do the same thing, and it happens once a year. Like you could only imagine how exciting that is and how fun that is.
Oh
Um,
man.
but I guess segueing to the performance now, which we touched
Yeah.
on earlier, because now it's obviously the part two of NPC, which is like the fan meetup and the performance and everything like that. And um, I so I remember. Oh man, I sorry, I just got a couple memories hit me. I remember we show up and we're doing sound checks.
Yeah, the sound guy didn't like me very much, did he?
That Yeah, that was interesting. So we go up there to sound check the guitar and the mics and everything, and me and Nick are sitting down, and I'm testing the guitar, testing my mic, and then he's testing his, and you're getting insane feedback.
Insane feedback. And I'm not trying to. I think all live sound techs should be respected because it's a tough job, especially when you have that many artists doing the same thing at different levels, holding the mic differently, doing all sorts of stuff. So I'm not trying to disrespect the sound guy because it's a tough job, and I think he did a brilliant job. But the first thing I noticed when we sound checked is that, yeah, this mic that I'm holding, mic number 2, is very hot. And I actually did live sound myself for years for my church when I was growing up. And obviously I record and make music all day, which, live sound versus, studio recording is very different. But me and you both realized right off the bat, like, okay, this mic is really, really hot. And so all I said was after the performance, I remember I was like, hey man, my mic's real hot. And he was like, and I said it just like that. And
He snapped
he
back
was like,
real
yeah, well, I'm
quick.
not changing it. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. And I think I even said that. I was like, all right. And then he gave me that, like, stop being a fuck boy and get off stage look. And I was like, all right. So then I get off stage and I'm a little irritated because, you know, uh, immature high school me would have tried to pick a fight with this guy. And I was thinking, no, like, this is such a good event. This is such a fun time. Like, I'm not going to let this guy get under
Ruin
my
it.
skin
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
ruin this amazing time. So I didn't, and I remember I went and chugged a White Claw instead. Um,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I'm not going to talk with him. I'm not going to fight that battle. But very aggressive, and I think obviously some of that is because they probably deal with a lot of assholes.
Right. And I was gonna say, the guy was rude and it was just uncalled for, but at the same time, I can only imagine how often he deals with people trying to tell him what to do, and it's his job.
Yep. Oh
So
yeah.
I do have sympathy to that for sure. But it was too hot. It was you couldn't even sing into it without it like going like really
I was
bad.
scared of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the gain was like all the way jacked up, and he did end up turning it down in set number 2. I literally heard it. I was because I was paying attention, and he turned it way down, and I'm thinking, yep, told you, asshole. But
Yeah, right.
that's what I was thinking in my head, but I didn't say it because, I mean, obviously, I like you said, there's a lot of people that are dicks to him, so I get it. He's very defensive, but I literally just said, "Hey man, my mic's hot," and he like came at my throat, which could have very easily because I hold on to shit that could have tilted my whole experience, but
Right.
I just forgot about it. I went and I had a White Claw and I was like, I'm over it. Um,
Yeah.
and I didn't say anything else about it. And the sound guy did a great job.
He did, yeah.
He adjusted the volumes on the fly like sound techs do, and he did a good job with it. And everybody sounded great. So it ended up being not a big issue, but yeah, that sound check was quite interesting.
Yeah, for our first experience arriving to the venue, it wasn't the best like mood to be put in where someone snaps at you for no reason. You're just going like, okay. But I do know that after that happened and after had sound checked, we were all told to go to the green room and we were hanging around and we were having our White Claws and just, kind of waiting for people to show up. And I remember we were told by someone, probably Russell or John or someone, but we were told that people are showing up. We're like, okay, cool. So we're all hanging out. And then as almost everyone's there, we all start kind of trickling out. And yeah, so what was the experience for you? I obviously you went to the one before and you had met up with some fans, but I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil it, but I feel like there was a reoccurring visitor. Was there not?
Dane, dude, I
Yeah.
love Dane. Oh my God. Dude, Dane is the man. But before I speak on Dane, yeah, the very first NPC that happened in 2018 in Texas, we went to a pizza place and met up with fans, and about I want to say like 30 or 40 people showed up. So, because we just announced it on like our Twitters and our like community boards, so
Yeah. It
we
was
didn't
a
really
much
like
more
give
like
it a chance.
it was like more low key. It wasn't like an event. It was more like, hey, if you're around, you should right?
It was almost like a pop-up shop, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like a pop-up shop happened, and like it was like some super underground, like on a need to know basis kind of thing, which was cool. Um, but we all just kind of slightly, we just threw some stuff online. A certain amount of people showed up and ate pizza with us, and we just hung out, which was great. One of those people was Dane, and
So wait,
Dane
okay,
is
hold on. Set the scene because we walked out and there was like a sea of people. So I kind of want to
yeah.
know, like leading. I don't know if he was the first person you saw, but like leading up to it, what was your experience like when you first went into the room?
For me, a bit intimidating. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot of people, and I'm not cool. Um, that's automatically where my mind goes to because I think that when people hear my music, they have this like idea of me, and I every time I meet fans, I always think like I hope I don't let them down because like I'm just a really normal, weird guy who likes the same shit that they like. And so my first thought seeing everybody was, oh man, I hope I live up to the, and I know it sounds weird, but I hope I live up to everybody's expectations.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and it was, I guess directly after that thought passed in my mind, it then moved to, holy crap, this is awesome, and I can't wait to meet all these people who are so awesome. And Dane is somebody that he went to the first NPC and he was there and he's one of the first people I saw. And I was like, oh, once I saw Dane, I was like, okay, cool. People are like, there's reoccurring visitors, like people are getting into this and he's awesome. And then the other people I met were so awesome that it just completely trumped that, where I was like in my head about it. And then I got right past it and into the, this is the coolest thing ever. And I'm meeting some of the coolest people ever. Some of the fans there were so,
Yeah.
they were
Oh,
so awesome.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guess for me it was a little weird because that's like my first time. I guess the first year I did, but last year was the first time people actually came to see me, and
Right.
I was like really blown away that I just signing autographs and stuff like that, and I'm just not used to that. And it felt really cool. I guess I felt proud of myself in a lot of ways, but then I also felt really humbled and like just. I guess the people that were saying things about my music made me obviously feel some type of ways of like emotional in a good way. Like I remember Jeff Hopland, one of the other people I met there who now follows me on Twitter. Shout out to Jeff if you're listening. But yeah, Jeff was telling me that some of his lyrics helped him get through some crazy shit, and that he was considering getting it tattooed on his body, and like it was just some really surreal moments for me as a human. Like hearing that, they don't even understand what they're saying to me. Well, no, they do. I don't want to
But
say like
they don't
they,
understand the impact it has on you.
yeah,
Yeah.
they really don't understand the impact because like I think I actually I don't know how they think, but all I know is that when I received that info from them, I'm like, this is changing me as a human being, and they don't understand that, and I want them to, and so I'm trying to tell them like, holy, like I'm trying to in my best way portray that like I can't believe it, and when you spend so much time doing YouTube and seeing comments, seeing humans and having them speak to you is a whole different thing. It's like it really made me so hungry, and I couldn't have been more grateful for the people that showed up. They were amazing. I would say that they inspired me to be a better person and a better artist, and I really look forward to that next year. That was a pretty long answer.
No,
That was
no,
kind of
that's
my
good.
my first thoughts. That was what went through my head in that first phase.
Just to clarify for anyone that maybe didn't understand what you meant by hungry.
Oh,
What did you mean by hungry?
hungry.
I know what you meant, but if you said it made you hungry, so people might be thinking you got really hungry
So
for some barbecue.
when I well, I'm always hungry for barbecue.
Right.
I guess hungry is in a sense of I like to stay motivated, extremely motivated, and never get complacent because I think the second you get complacent, you lose. And sometimes I find it hard to get motivation when I'm doing this week after week after week, and things like NPC just are just such an incredible experience and an extra motivator for me to do better. And that's essentially what I mean by hungry. It's just like it's a thing that refreshes my mind. It resets me, puts me back on track, and it sends me home thinking I'm about to write the best song of my life because these people made me feel so great.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's super cool. Holy crap. See, yeah, like you were saying, people think that like when they're if okay, like I hate to even think of us as like celebrities because we're not. I did air quotes by the way for people listening. um, but I I think for anyone that's meeting someone that they admire, like you're obviously thinking like this is a huge moment for me because I'm meeting this person. But it
Yeah.
is crazy how much of an impact it has on the person receiving like all the grace and compliments and just how much you affected them. It's like, especially as YouTubers, because we don't, we're like you were saying earlier, we're behind a computer, we see comments, there's no faces. Like it just is what it is. You get in this weekly routine of releasing music and you don't take a second to realize the impact it may have on people. And when you meet them and they give that to you, I guess that's what's feeding that hunger to get better and better and better because you're like, oh my gosh, there's like actual people. As funny as that sounds, and anyways, the impact that could have on us is crazy. It's just
It's
indescribable. So
God, I couldn't agree more. It's literally indescribable. I get that's a perfect way of saying it. What you just said of they see it as this moment of I'm meeting somebody who inspires me, and we see it the same exact way.
Yeah.
It's like it's so crazy because I don't I hope that people understand that when they do meet, especially us, because maybe for other maybe for real I'll say real, maybe for actual celebrities that are getting stopped constantly in
Right. It's a little
Hollywood
different,
by
probably.
yeah, it's different because
Yeah.
those people aren't changing their life every time because they probably get so used to it that they get irritated at some points and a lot of things. For us, I mean, we never experience it because, like you said, we're not celebrities. We're not. When I go to the store, nobody cares. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody says, "Oh, that's Fable." It's like
Yeah.
I actually personally like that. I very much enjoy that. I don't know
It's
if I
like the dream, I think, for anyone that's successful in like the public eye, that we don't really have our faces out there, really.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
it's just
it's nice.
ears. You know, so those are
Yeah,
the faces.
I like not having the attention. It's great because the attention. I mean, if you study any sort of celebrity for any, it kind of makes me sad that people give celebrities such flack about having easy lives this and easy lives that, when in reality their lives are the hardest out of everybody at IMO. Because you know what? No, that's a bold statement. There, there are plenty of people who have harder lives. I'm not trying to say celebrities have
Right.
a harder life than a child in Syria who's getting bombed by his own country in a hospital or something like that. Like, I'm not trying to say like you should feel sorry for artists because, you know, X, Y, and Z, or that they have a harder life. I'm not trying to compare them
To like
to
real
other
world
tragic
problems. Yeah. No,
real
for
world
sure.
problems. But when there are a lot of mental challenges with being a celebrity, and if you study it and if you look into their documentaries, you can really find like it's not easy to be a celebrity, and those people have to deal with things that you wouldn't imagine. Most people like that they feel safe like in their home, and celebrities don't have that luxury. And
Yeah.
like I'm just learning a lot. The more that I do this, the more I'm learning about popularity and becoming a celebrity and all the things that it entails. And to be quite frank, for me personally, I absolutely hate it. I would never, if I ever worked in the industry, I wouldn't want to be a star. I'd want to be an engineer, a producer, somebody behind the scenes who gets to work with the artists and make great music, but not have to be the face because there is some shit that goes on that is crazy. And so I guess all I'm trying to say is that for me myself, it does make me happy that in our job we aren't a celebrity and we get to make this music and reach so many millions of people without having to worry about all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. No.
So yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's great, and I know for me, like when we went out of the green room door, my first thought for myself was, no one's gonna know me. They may know me because I sang on someone's song that's there, but they won't know who I am, because at the time I was at like 25,000 subs, like, compared to people
Wow.
like JT that have like 2-3 million, and Damble like 2 million, and Nerd Out,
Oh yeah,
it,
we're like small fries.
well, and even for you though, to give credit, I mean, you were at like 200,000 or something, so like there's a lot of people there that are much more like the eyes and ears are more focused on them than they are on me, because I'm just a lot smaller. So I didn't really have any expectations when I walked out there. I didn't think anyone would know who I was, especially since I really haven't put my face out there that much. Not for any particular reason, because I obviously will live stream once and again. But yeah, so I go out there and I see everyone. I see like tons of Stupendium fans, which I thought
Oh
was
yeah.
so cool. A guy from England
Mm-hmm.
has all these people wearing his merch and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that was great. And yeah, so I it was kind of funny for me because I didn't know where to stand. Like, because everyone's having these experiences like meeting people, and I didn't want to be the guy standing there and then like have people feel obligated to be like, oh, and this is Divide Music. So I just kind of was like walking around just chilling, and at one point I think I stood next to you when you were meeting, um what was his name again?
It's
Dane.
Dane.
Dane, that's right. And
Yeah,
I think
Dane.
it was him, and you were talking to him, and it was great, and I was just kind of standing there. And I think I was standing next to Leon, Daddy Fat Snaps, and no one was up to him yet, and I was just kinda talking to him, kinda keeping to myself, because I didn't wanna, I don't know. It's so out of mine and your element, obviously, so I was just kinda, like, chilling, and then someone
Yeah.
obviously recognized him, so he got pulled away, and I was just like, "Okay." So, anyways, leading up to this moment, though, where Vinny runs up to me and he's like, "Hey, um, there's a woman looking for you." And I was like, "Huh?" She's like, yeah, her kid's here, and they want to meet you. And I was like, really? That's kind of cool. Okay. And I don't know who it is, but I just kind of kept walking, and this woman stops me and she's like, "Are you Divide Music? Or are you Divide?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my gosh, my son loves your stuff and he would love to take a picture." And this kid was like 7. He was
So
awesome.
sick.
Do you remember the kid I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yes, dude.
Dude,
Yes, so cool.
he had like a sleeveless um denim jacket on with like patches and stuff on it. Like this kid was
Yes,
a
dude. I remember.
boss.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He was so cool, and he was fans of everyone there, and it was great. I like got down on my knees and took a picture with him, and after that I was like, okay, that was really cool. And I didn't think anything of it. And as the night went on, you know, like we said earlier, I don't know who performed first, but everyone did their performances and it was great. And I think everyone was happily surprised with how much fun they had,
Oh
for
yeah.
all the people that don't perform. Um, but I I'll run over this quickly because I do want to talk about people's performances. But there was a moment where, God damn it, Snaps and I were getting food together. So we're at the food truck, and this guy walks up to me. He like goes, "Hey, are you Divide?" And I was like, yeah." And he's like, "Hey, my sister couldn't make it, but she wanted me to give this to you." And she gave me a letter that had Divide written on it, and I was like,
Oh, that's right.
I'm like, "What is going on right now?" Like, I couldn't believe it. And I told everyone, I was like, "I was the only guy that got a letter. What up?" But but yeah, I get this letter, and it was super sweet. There was nothing crazy. It was just saying that she really likes my music and told me her favorite song is, I think it was my We Happy Few song, and anyways, so that was lovely. And then when None Like Josh was performing, and this is another reason why I remember when he performed, because I was standing up front and I was getting all into it, and this woman taps on my shoulder and she goes, "Are you Divide?" And I said, "Yes." And she started freaking out, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, Okay." And she was so excited, and she turns to her kid, and this is Divide, and the kid was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I'm talking to them, and she was so excited and so happy, and it was one of the most surreal moments of my life because no one's ever been that happy to see me, not even my own wife. So I was like, I was like, whoa. Actually, I might take that back because we were just apart for 3 months, having to get her visa to get her to England, and that meet was pretty amazing. So maybe not,
Oh, I
but
can imagine.
but still, yeah, it was pretty incredible, and those were my main experiences. But after the performances, I had a lot of people asking me for signatures and stuff, and to
Oh yeah.
autographs, or not signature, to autograph stuff, and take pictures, and yeah, it was absolutely bizarre.
It's mental, right? It's like
Absolutely.
you're totally not used to it. Like you can't explain it if you're not like it's so crazy. And I think that dude, this year's gonna be you're getting me all psyched for this year. Now I'm just like, oh man, now I want to go do this right now because
And it's in Chicago, the biggest, arguably the biggest nerdcore capital.
oh oh dude, I feel like it's a pretty strong argument because I know for myself, I on my Spotify and YouTube analytics, Chicago is number one by a landslide, and it's been from what we've gathered. I'm pretty sure, right, that
Oh yeah.
everybody's analytics pretty much say the same thing.
I think that's
So
what made the decision to do it in Chicago, because I'm just going to look right now. My So
me too.
my
Let me
top
pull this up.
my top city is actually Dallas, which is interesting.
Oh, nice.
Um, but I have, well, because it's kind of confusing. I have two Spotify's, if anyone knows the situation, but I have two Spotify's. So on my new Spotify, Chicago's number 2, and I have 765 individuals specifically in Chicago. And then on my old one, my old Spotify, I have Chicago's my top city, and it has 879.
That's
So
crazy.
it's just absolutely insane. What are yours?
Yeah, for me it's the same. Crazy enough, Chicago's number one, Dallas number two. So Dallas and Chicago are nerdcore spots, and
Oh man.
Chicago for me, I have 1.9 thousand, so almost 2,000 out of Chicago, and then Dallas I have 1.8 thousand. So it's like right there. So Dallas Yeah, I'm guessing that that's probably why they did
Yeah.
Texas first and Chicago second. It all makes sense because the analytics don't lie. And dude, all of us have similar stats, like everybody.
We'll have to go to Dallas because I know you guys did Austin, but I think Dallas would be,
Oh
just go
yeah,
straight, kind of like how we're doing in Chicago, go straight there. That'd be so crazy. But
dude, be so sick.
yeah. So, anyways, those were my experiences that I had that were really memorable. I mean, I met lots of other people, but those three experiences in particular were just really set me back, put me on my heels. I was like, whoa, this is weird, you know. But
Dude, yes, yeah, it was cool to see. And honestly, I feel like this year, especially, dude, it's gonna be so cool to see the growth since last year and to see you because you've grown by double, um,
yeah,
over double,
yeah,
if I'm correct, over double since last year. So the venue has increased by over double. It's gone from 100 people max to 400 people max.
yeah.
So, oh, dude, I'm so psyched because it's gonna be a whole different thing this
Yeah,
year. Like
it's bigger and better in every way. It's gonna be absolutely insane. Yeah,
Dude, and I gotta say that during my performance, well, the first thing that happened is that after we performed, um, Alex's song "Holding On" or Divide's song, let's say, because people know us by now.
yeah, I would hope so.
After I would hope so too. After we performed your song, which was a blast, there was lighters in the air.
Hold on.
Our guitar.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say.
we got to talk about the technical difficulties. So we're literally going through this, and Alex's guitar, the DI just completely stops working, and nothing's coming through the monitors
Well,
at all.
and even worse though, before it just stopped working, it kept cutting in and out. That was
Oh,
it was like,
dude,
and I know that you didn't even notice it originally.
I didn't. I didn't.
But I noticed it, and at one point, I think it was after the first chorus, I just said, "Well, I guess the song's going to be a cappella," and like everyone screamed, and it was just great. Like it was funny how in a moment like that is kind of a performer's worst nightmare, how it actually was amazing because yeah, everyone had their lighters out, everyone was, it was great, and I didn't hear it, but I remember you telling me you heard people singing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the chorus.
Yeah,
Think back into the day.
what
I
not
heard like
fun.
people. Oh yeah, so good. And that was an experience because the lighters came out, everybody's singing it. It was great. And then afterwards, you said some really nice things to me and said I was gonna kill it into the microphone, and that made me like, oh shit. I was like so happy and so appreciative,
Oh
but I was also
yeah.
so scared. I was like, oh god, he just said I was gonna kill it. And I was like, now I gotta kill it. Oh shit.
I totally forgot about that because you were about to perform. Like someone else performed after you and I performed for like my set. But then when you were going to
Yes.
perform, I remember I ran up and said, "Can I take the mic really quick?" And I was like, "I just want to say that Nick is like one of my best friends, and he's going to kill it." And blah blah blah.
He's gonna kill it.
And I gave you the mic, and you were like, "All right, let's go."
I was like, dude, thank you. I was like so mixed because I was like, oh god, the pressure. But I was like, I was obviously grateful. And then I performed, it went well enough. My
Oh
energy was there. I was vibing. The crowd was going. I gotta say, it was tough. I had no voice. I honestly was really, I had drank too much, if I'm being honest, and that was my way of dealing with nerves. I didn't get like sloppy drunk. Like I wasn't like sloppy, but
no, no, dude.
I was,
A crowd's
yeah,
perspective, it was a 10 out of 10. I'm not just saying that. Like that picture of me looking up at the sky out of complete awe and amazement is no joke. Like
thank you.
it was absolutely incredible. Despite like obviously because with like my performance, I hated it. Like when I heard back the recording of it, I was like, my God, that's not getting heard by anyone. But at the
Dude, that's
time,
how I felt about mine too, to be fair. I really did.
but no one cared. You know, like
Nobody
everyone
cared. Because your
loved it.
performance was great too. I'm sad that I didn't get to experience any of your performance from the audience. I'm excited about that this year. Is that this year you're gonna have songs that are all you or with other artists, and I get to actually be in the crowd because I got to be in the crowd for like so many people, and I didn't get to for you, which made me sad because I'm like, of all the people, no offense to any other artist, but I want to see you the most.
Well, thank you.
Because you know we're best friends. We've been making music forever. I'm like, I want to see you perform. Which selfishly, it's kind of like when J.J. Abrams was like, I don't want to make the whole trilogy of Star Wars because I don't get to enjoy it as a fan.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited that this year I don't have to perform every song with you because then I get to see you perform, and that's going to be amazing. But the picture of you watching me perform in particular
Oh
is my
man.
favorite thing I've ever seen in my life.
That was
Um,
so because the picture, if anyone hasn't seen it, the picture was an awesome shot of Nick with like his arm in the air, holding the mic. It looked awesome. And then if you zoom in to the other side of the stage, I'm standing there with my head straight up in the sky, and my mouth's wide open. I'm like, ah, like I'm so excited, and I was so happy because that was after I performed, so I just got to finally let my nerves down and just relax. And I was screaming the words, dude. It was great.
Oh, dude.
It was
Thank you.
incredible.
And it was so dude, that's still my profile picture. It'll probably always be my profile picture. I
It
don't know
is
if
your
it'll
profile.
ever
I
be
forgot
the
about that. That is your
Yep.
profile picture. Dang.
On Twitter. Yep. I love it. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to take that one down, even if there's better shots of me this year. It's gonna be hard because that was just a great moment of seeing you in the back of the picture, and everybody up front was going crazy, and people knew the words to my song better than I do, and that made me so happy because I'm like, dude, like for sometimes, and I don't know if it's like this for you, but every once in a while I get caught up in this depressing feeling of feeling a bit disconnected from my songs because sometimes I move really fast and I have to either do songs on a weekly basis or I'm
Yeah.
cranking them out so quickly that in ways I don't feel that emotionally attached at times because I almost forget that I made it. I'm like, wow, I go back and I listen to it and I'm like, I make songs so quickly. And while in the heat of the moment, of course, I'm not half-assing any of these songs. Like I'm really giving them my all in that moment. But it almost feels like a really good workout. And then when you're done with it, you're done with it sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Well, and you made that song 8 months or more prior. You made it in
yeah,
December, right? And then we did this in August. So you had released arguably, wait, hold on. What would that be? Four times nine? So
yeah,
36 songs, you know?
36. Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it's hard. Yeah, I totally agree with you. You have those songs that will stick with you that you're super proud of, and I know you are super proud of that one. But when you're talking almost
Yeah.
a year later, like, that is tough, especially to remember
It's
the
tough.
lyrics. That's my hardest thing, is and I get the biggest fear is lyrics. If I have the lyrics in front of me, I'm fine, but in the back of my mind, I always think I'm gonna forget the lyrics, and that's what really bothers me. So,
Totally understand that. Yep. It was the same way for me too. Yeah, it's like I love each song that I make. I have a great respect for it. But when I hear back some of my old stuff too, oftentimes on a different unrelated note, I do think like, man, I've gotten a lot better. And that's not how the case with drop, but it is it's tough sometimes because even just meeting fans and they tell me about a song that changed their life, and I just think I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And I just it throws me off and I'm like, that's so cool. But yeah, performing it, the lyrics and stuff like that lyrically, it's tough. Yeah, because like you said, I had already done I mean, literally that weekend of MPC, I dropped another Fortnite song and it was
yeah,
Go.
yeah.
And actually, that's my new fan favorite. Most people that I actually interact with say that that's their favorite of all of my songs, which is kind of crazy when it comes to Fortnite. And so I was like, it felt so surreal. I'm performing Drop while Go is being released, and I'm thinking that was a really crazy weekend to be honest on every level because that was also the weekend I set my views record for YouTube and like
Yeah.
things were just it was a wild weekend and man
Oh,
that
wait.
performance was so fun,
That weekend that dude, that's when I released Black Clover.
dude. That's
Like,
nuts.
that is when everything changed for my
What?
channel, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even realize, dude. We better prepare some really good songs for MPC this year because MPC has some magic behind it.
Something, man. I remember I released Black Clover, and it was the second anime song I'd ever done at the time, because before that was the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood song I did. So I released Black Clover, and my channel at the time, you know, I kinda had, like, little goals in my head whenever I would release something, like, hopefully, it would hit this many views in an hour, all the stupid stuff that YouTubers think about when they release music. But,
Yeah.
you know, and it released, and it did okay, it didn't do great. But then, yeah, that's when I released it, was that weekend, and that was the song that honestly changed everything for me, which is crazy. But,
What?
yeah, not wild?
Dude, that's actually crazy to think about. That's so significant because that song put you on track.
Yeah,
It's
it
what
literally changed everything for me, and I think as well, like, I think August, like the late summertime, as most anyone that does YouTube knows, like, that is a really hot time for YouTube, like, when it comes to
yeah,
all the different aspects of, like, CPM and all that kinda stuff, and just whatever, like, all those things are higher at that point, and
yeah.
generally views are up on that time frame too. So, you know, I don't know if that's what affected it or what, but I just remember, seeing my little graph. It was like most people's, it spikes when you first release it, and then the little view graph goes way down. And then I remember one day
Yep.
I was like, wait a second, and it shot way back up again, just out of the blue. And you know, people ask why I don't do video game songs anymore, and I kind of found my thing. I
Yeah,
really enjoy making music for anime, and it just so worked out that that's what happened. And anyways, so it's
dude,
great.
and I mean, you were already making phenomenal music before that, but you really something in you changed after that upload because you really just found it's not just that the numbers went up, like you found your way. Like you knew your way, like because I think a lot of things, not to go off on a non NPC note, but a lot of things that people may not understand about you in particular is that before you were popular, we'll say on YouTube, you were writing hits for other people. Like people don't understand that Victorious from was a Divide music song, right? It wasn't a Nerd Out song,
Right.
and I'm not taking away from Nerd Out. They did. I mean, Nem always kills it. I love Nerd Out. Great guys, but prior to NPC, and especially the year prior to that, I mean, you were still, starting up. You started a lot later than I did, so didn't have these crazy numbers yet, particularly, but your skill level was already super there. Like you were already super good at what you do. So like all these bigger artists, myself included, are working with you, and you're pretty much producing these songs, writing hooks, singing hooks on these songs that you've produced. They're your songs, you know what I mean? They're your life and blood is flowing through the song, and people just didn't know yet. They had no clue, kind of that was you, I don't think. And then when you start doing anime, your production starts to shift. Your that was not a shot at Nerd Out, by the way, for those people listening.
Oh
That was
no.
just me. I think people. It wasn't just that
Oh,
song from Nerd Out. My Tilted Tower song on my own channel was pretty much all Alex. I mean, there was a lot of big songs, including you did some production work for JT for a BioShock song. Like you've done a lot more than people I think understood. So I'm just trying to say, like, you may not have been a big channel at that time for your size, but like you were already working on hits in the nerdcore community.
thank
Like
you.
you were already very involved.
No, I
So
appreciate that.
with that being said, though, when you started doing anime on your channel, people started to care a lot more
Yeah.
than they did previously. They were like, "Wait a minute, like this is awesome." And then you didn't just find numbers, but your sound started to shift a little bit. You started finding your sound. Everything starts to click, and you you kind of essentially you skyrocket when it comes to just numbers, and then finding like hit. It just seems like you're going all over the place with your sound, but it all works. It's all clicking, and the fans start to stream into your channel specifically. That was a really long way of saying it, but
Yeah.
I
No, dude.
I think that's when
Thank
you
you.
found your way.
Yeah, it was. And I really appreciate everything you said because yeah, for the first while not having any real attention on my channel, which made sense. I mean, I was new and just trying to, get my shot, trying to get stuff to work and all that kind of. And when I made Victorious, I was fortunate enough. I mean, at the time, I don't even think I had 10,000 subs. I was a lot smaller at the time. I think I was in like the
Yeah,
4 to 5,000 range. And I asked
yeah.
them, I asked Christian, I asked you, and obviously you wouldn't say no because I'd be mad at you. But, but I asked them, and they all said yes. And yeah, I wrote that song, and I know that yeah. To once again clarify what Nick was saying earlier, um, it was that Nerd Out had specifically Nem had asked me if they could repost it to their channel because they loved the song and everything like that, and I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And that's just kind of what happened. But obviously, with people finding Nerd Out through that song or fans of the song, they're not really caring about who made it. It's a Nerd Out song in
Yeah,
their eyes,
yeah.
so they wouldn't know any different. So it is what it is. But I appreciate you saying that because, um, yeah, I think I've kind of put my whatever you want to call it on a couple different people's channels and have done
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
well. So
Oh, yeah, it's not even a question. I mean, that's kinda what I'm trying to reiterate. It's that it's not to take away from the opportunities that they were, giving you by reposting it or whatever, whatever was happening. It's people didn't understand that you were making moves. Like, you were doing things, um, and by people I don't mean everybody. I just mean there's probably a large group of people that don't understand that you were behind the force behind the sound. And it's cool now to see people coming to your channel because it's tough to have that happen. It's really tough. That's the hardest part of this whole thing is getting people to come and to want to subscribe to you and listen to your music. It's a difficult job. You unfortunately in today's age you can't just you cannot just make music and then expect people to listen to it. There's a whole marketing thing behind it. There's a schedule that you have to create to best optimize everything. And
Mm.
when you started Black Clover, you found it. It was the subject matter that you chose and the songs that you were making for the subject matter just the stars aligned.
Oh, yeah. It it was crazy, and I guess, to put it in perspective for anyone, because I know at the end of the day, a lot of it comes down to, like, subscribers or views or whatever. I think at the time in August, my channel had maybe seen a peak at some point of 200,000 views in 30 days. I was at, like, 20 to 25,000 subs, Things were good, but it nothing ever took off, like, I was just kinda doing the grind. And now, so that was in August, that was, how many months ago is that now? That'd be 4
That's
plus
tough.
3, 7? 7 months ago? So
7 months
so
ish, yeah.
7 months later, finally finding my niche, if you will, and finding kind of what is fueling my channel now. It's like now I'm at 50 something thousand or 50,000 something and, almost 2,000,000 views in a month. So it's like
Whoop whoop.
so things have changed drastically for me. So, um I'm
That's
nothing but
amazing.
thankful. So, yeah. As this is so not related to anything we were just talking about,
Nope, but
but
we're celebrating.
but
But we're
thank you.
celebrating
Thank you.
because he just hit 50,000 subs, so we have to acknowledge that on the podcast. And I think everybody here listening, they like to hear about you more and probably me and just everything. And I think talking about NPCs brought out like
We're we're
it's really
reflecting
it's brought
again.
out more. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah,
reflecting. I'm like really like realizing how much has actually happened because you don't understand it until you start to talk about it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Wow, holy crap. Performance though, reeling it all the way back.
Yes,
Everybody killed
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
We went throughout the night, um, and everybody did an amazing job. Nerd Out, Rocket Gaming, Dan Bull, the list goes on. I could list names. I'm not gonna try and list them all, but
Stipendium, Bone Cage, everyone.
Stupendium. Oh yeah, to address something else too is that Stupendium. When you said there was a lot of Stupendium fans there, I mean, talking about like just genius creatives, Stupendium, like he's a great artist, and I love his music. But his videos too are just I mean, he's one of those guys that he really sets the bar in a department. Like he
Oh,
really like
no one touches him
holy
on
crap.
videos.
No, like
It's
he's a
insane.
fucking powerhouse when it comes to videos. That guy is I mean, he has this great and he always has these great songs that totally are theatrical in their own way and they perfectly nail the vibe of what he's going for and then the video with it combined
Oh,
makes it this like
it's a force to be reckoned
intoxicating
with.
thing.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
insane. I can't tell you how many times I've watched his, um oh gosh, his Fallout song. What's it called?
oh, is it vault
No,
number oh crap.
it was the
No.
one he did for New Vegas where he's talking
Oh,
about
that's
the
right.
casino and everything. Anyways, that was the
Yes.
first video of his I saw, and I was like, "He made this? The heck?" Dude, that guy could make a song that is, like, just farts and have a video that he's
Yeah.
produced, and it would just be amazing. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
dude.
incredible that he has,
It's stunning.
so much talent. It's unbelievable. So,
Yeah, it's cool to see it translate, you know what I mean? So many people are there to see him because they fall in love with it from the content he released. I mean, it's kind of funny on Twitter. Sometimes I'll see him talking about renders for his videos, like, "Oh, this video is going to take
yeah.
36 hours to render," and I'm like, "Oh, mine takes two,
Yeah.
not even two. It takes 30 minutes."
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say ours
K-
takes like, yeah, 30 or less. It's like, yeah, I it's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
yeah, the art too is wow.
Yeah, and he like
That guy,
draws it too. It's anyways, it's just crazy.
yeah,
Something that we don't understand because we have no idea how he does what he does. But yeah, dude, everyone killed it. Rustage killed it. It was his first performance, I know, and he did Dragon.
that was
Um
awesome.
and
I was so hyped.
everyone was jumping and it was great and he was, nervous as we all were, but I he asked me if I would record it, and so I recorded the video for him, and he was just I remember when he came back, he, like, hugged me, he was so excited, he's like, "That was amazing," and all this stuff, and, um, yeah, everyone just it was great, dude. Everyone had a
Yeah,
great.
Rustage killed it.
Yep.
Rustage been killing it since last year. Times have certainly changed since then. I think that he was at that time last year. He was already starting to blow up. I don't know if he
No,
was or
he,
not,
yeah,
but
because I think I don't know if he hit 100K yet. No, he must. Well, I don't know. Anyways, he was I think newly blowing up. I think it kind of started beginning of last year, but
right.
yeah, for him that must have been an amazing experience to have your channel, get that YouTube freaking needle. What am I trying to say? What's the big needle that you stick into yourself, like a hypothermic
What,
needle?
what
The YouTube
are you talking about
needle,
right now, dude?
dude. I don't know, like he got prescribed the juice. Okay,
He got the juice. He
he
got the
he
juice.
got the juice,
Um,
and then he got to perform and got to meet fans and got to meet other artists and so he that was probably I'm speaking for him at this point, but I could only imagine if that was me, I would probably just been like what, like the heck's
oh
going
yeah.
on.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was like that for me. Even like for all of us, I think we're all like, what is happening right now? But a lot of these guys are younger too. I can't imagine like being his age and experiencing all this. You know what I mean? They're so far past maturity than I was when I was their age. It's so crazy because,
Same, yeah. It
man,
kind of like, yeah, it kind of scares me a bit when I see people like him or CG5 or
yeah,
oh my gosh, like who I know there's someone else that's just as young as them. But either way,
Zach
like these
Boucher,
guys
I
doing
think.
it at their age,
No,
and I'm like, if when I was their age, like no, I couldn't be doing what they're doing. I didn't have
right?
the I mean, people may argue, but I don't think I had the skill to be able to produce the way that they do at their age and to be able to cultivate such a huge audience, and
Yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
it's extremely respectful. So, anyways, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, it's incredibly composed. I couldn't believe it. It definitely made me realize, man, these kids are killing it.
Yeah.
These and I hate saying kids. I mean, I'm about to be 30, so
You
I
can
feel like
call
now
them
I can say
kids, yeah.
that. I'm 30. I can say shit like that now. I'm like, my bones hurt, so I can call you a kid now because
Yeah.
I know your bones don't hurt, but mine do.
Because I know your bones don't hurt, yeah. Oh, man, that was such a great experience, and we're almost at 2 hours, so I guess we should probably start kinda
Oh
reeling
wow.
it in a little bit, but, anyone that's still listening, what up? Thank you for sticking around this long. Um,
Yep.
you are, just awesome, so thank you. But I know that when the night kind of came to a close, were you on stage for us with us when we did the Tenacious D song?
No, I'm so sad that I missed that. I didn't even. I was like in the green room that whole time. I'm
Oh
so
my
sad.
gosh. Oh, okay. Well,
I heard it was
I'll
amazing. I
close.
saw the
So
videos.
the performance of it, I'll close out the performance side of this conversation by saying at the end, I picked up an acoustic guitar that didn't work when I performed, and started playing "Tribute" by Tenacious D because Cam, Video Game Rap Battles, loves that song and knew all the words, and so I just fumbled my way through knowing how to play it, kind of, and but it turned out as the song progressed, we had like him, DA Games. I'm pretty sure like Russell and Vinny were there. I mean, um, like Ben, like everyone was
Oh my god.
just singing Tenacious D, and then everyone, all the people that were there, still, um, were singing along with us, and it was hilarious. We were all singing tribute, and it was just so funny. Like, anyways, so that was great.
Dude,
But
I'm so sad I missed that. I really truly am. And damn it, I love Ben Schuler. That's a magnificent man. I could talk about everybody who went to
yeah,
NPC a lot, but dude, I had such a blast with that guy too. Man.
Ben Schuler's awesome. I really enjoyed getting to meet him. He's kind of like Daddy Fastnaps. He has a smooth way of
Yeah.
talking. And I think he knows
Yeah,
it too.
totally.
A sneaky little devil. But I will say too. Before we left to go to the after party, we were. I will at least I don't know if you were there. I was in the green room and Jack was in there with. I don't know who the girls were. One of them was like an editor or something like that came with him, and then
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yep.
yeah, and, we're all trying to take a picture. Were you in there for that?
Was I in there for that?
So hold on.
Which
Are you telling me that you were in the green room when we performed, and then when I came into the green room, you left?
I am not even lying. I literally was in the green room. I don't think I was there for that because I was in the green room while you guys performed, and then I slipped out back. The first time I saw you after all this had happened since the performance was when you were sitting at the table outside with DA Game, showing him one of your songs because he was asking you some like
Oh,
engineering tips or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had walked into that conversation. But prior to that, I had missed you on every level, and it wasn't anything purposeful. I remember I was just stumbling around super drunk,
You
and I
you were just hiding in every possible way to not see me, yeah.
Dude,
No, there was obviously so many people, like we said, we're trying to see everyone, so, um, all I was gonna say was we're trying to take this picture, and Jack's sitting on the table. Did you hear about
Oh, I
this?
heard about this. You
Yeah.
guys broke the table.
He's sitting on the table, and somehow the table broke. And we're like, it's like a
Oh my
wooden
god.
table, and oh my gosh, it was so funny. I don't even know what happened with that, if anyone said anything, but it was like, oh crap. Um, and then, sorry, I'm remembering one other thing. Before I performed with you, I went into the green room and I had 2 or 3 White Claws, and I just wanted to say because it was hilarious. The lady in there was like, she stopped me because apparently I was acting kind of silly, and she's like, "Do you need something to eat? Do you want to sit down?" And she was so nice, and I was like, "No, I'm fine." She's like, "Are you sure?" Because she offered me like her wheat or her Cheez-Its. She's like, "You want to eat something?" Yeah. Did I ever tell you about that?
No, that's amazing though.
She was so
What a kind
nice.
person.
Yeah, she's like, "Do you want some water?" Because she knew I was obviously going to perform, so she was trying to be helpful with that, and I'm happy that she did because I think I got a little extra. All the
Yeah.
excitement and drinking. It was. Um. Anyways, unless you have something else to say, we can talk about the after party, and then we can be done.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to say. It was great. It was everything I had hoped for and more. Shout out to JT and Rocket Gaming for hosting it. It went really smooth. And the after party, I will say, is the only part that did not go smooth. Um,
Ooh, now that you mention it,
That was
yeah.
very not smooth. I will say, funny story. Walking to the after party, we're walking to downtown Nashville at this point because we're done with the concert and we're heading to this restaurant where the after party's supposed to be at. And we all Uber over there separately, and I Uber over there with Daddy Fat Snaps and Alex. And as we're walking there, I'm standing behind you guys. I've never even told you this, but I'm walking behind Daddy Fat Snaps and Alex, who are right next to each other, shoulder to shoulder, and nobody can even see me. I'm like the bird in the back of the formation that's catching the wind off of the other birds. Because I was walking through downtown Nashville, and everybody, I'm watching everybody from both streets just look at you guys. Everybody's heads are turning. They're like, those are some
Big ass people.
extremely tall, big people. And I remember for the first time, I remember thinking, wow, I'm kind of getting a real glimpse at how it must be to be that tall because you got everybody's heads are turning. I'm like, oh my god, and I'm just standing behind you guys walking to this restaurant, and nobody even knows I'm there, dude. I'm literally like in your shadow, and I'm only 5'9", so I'm like half of them, and so I'm just walking behind their backs, and I remember it was really nice for me because I didn't bump into a single person,
Yeah.
and everybody is shoulder to shoulder, and I'm just literally pretty much have 2 bodyguards in front of me just blocking everybody, and I'm just chilling, texting and walking, not worrying
Not
about a
even
thing
looking up
'cause
anymore. You're just like, "Oh, this is fine."
that was
It's almost like
amazing.
driving a truck. People just get out of your way when you're really tall,
Yeah.
Like, they just 'cause
Yep.
I don't know if it's because they see you differently than everybody else, so they're like, "Oh, gotta get out of the way." So, yeah, people don't usually bump into me. So that's just kinda what happened, but, yeah, the event did not go very smoothly because even though uh, JT and Rocky Gaming called ahead. For some reason, they didn't have it ready. They didn't know. It
Yeah.
was it was a really
Yeah, it
weird
seems shady.
situation. So everyone was sitting at different tables, and
Mhm.
we were trying to do our part to go around to say hi to everyone, but it was just kind of, it was kind of, it was shitty because there was other people there that didn't know who we were that were trying to like have their dinner in the middle of 2 tables of people that are loud and just trying to. Anyways, so it
Yeah, it was really really weird.
no one's fault but Margaritaville. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
so it was still good though because I got to sit down with a few people and um the the woman that was the one that had tapped on my shoulder and she was like so excited and told her son and the third story I told. I saw them sitting, just them two, and Christian sat down with them and was talking, and I decided to go over there and sit down, and it was just funny because me and Christian were just talking, just casual, whatever, we're just hanging out with them,
Oh, yeah.
and then I'll never forget. She just stops us. She's like, "Can I just say, I never thought in my life I would be sitting in front of JT Music and Divine Music." She's like, "This is the best day of my life," and I just remember I I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, it's just crazy. Once again, what we were saying
Yeah,
earlier,
it's
like,
nuts.
how is this the best day of your life? Like, I'm kind of annoying. I'm really tall. I'm kind of overweight. Like, this cannot be the best day of your life. But
Oh
she
my
was so
god,
sweet. Whoa, I cracked. She was so
dude,
sweet.
I'm really rubbing off on you.
I don't know if I prefer that. But yeah, it is happening. And anyways, it was great though. And after that, all of us hanging out, we all went back and we had
That was the pizza night.
that was the
That was
pizza
the
night.
pizza disaster. Yep.
That was the last night, and we were up really late, hanging out with everyone, and it was great. And then following to the next day, we all went to the airport, and Popeyes. You take this one, man.
Oh yeah, Popeyes. It was great. I hyped it up. I don't think it lived up to the hype. I think everybody was kind of mediocre about it. But I love Popeyes, so I was like, "Fuck it."
I loved it.
Everybody was like, what are we gonna eat?" And I was like, "Oh, you guys gotta try Popeyes. It's like the best fried chicken ever." Because I love Popeyes, and they used to have one on the base I was stationed at when I was in the Navy, and I would just eat it all the time. And their blackened ranch is like my favorite thing in the world. It's like so good. It's got like a bunch of pepper in it. Oh man,
Oh
it's so
man,
good.
it was good
Anyways,
to clarify, but I do remember when we got to the airport, it was like you, me, and was it Bone Cage? No, it was you.
yeah.
Who did we go to the
Wait,
airport with? Maybe it
yeah. There
was
was we went with none. Was it none like Josh and
no.
somebody else that was there?
I feel like it was you, me, and like Bone Cage, or anyways. All I know is that it was you and me and someone else, and we didn't know. At least I didn't know. But when we got
Yeah.
through security, we see like Rocket Gaming, Daddy
Yep.
Fat Snaps, Thick 44, and you know what I mean? Like it was just so funny. We're like, oh, we're like another reunion, and that's when we all went to Popeyes, and
Oh yeah.
it was a sad but lovely day,
It
because
was. It was sad. I
yeah.
remember hugging those guys and thinking, "Damn, this sucks." And that was a nice little way to finish it because Popeyes was good. Everybody was fun. You could tell the atmosphere was kind of sad. Hugged Jeff, hugged Daddy Fat Snaps, Tony, Thick 44. Said goodbyes to Christian and Russell and all those people. That's the bittersweet part of it. That's the shitty part of this whole thing, and it'll happen again this year.
Oh, I know.
Um.
It'll be worse this time too, because
Oh yeah.
we've
Oh dude, I dread it.
dreaded. Yeah, yeah, he'll be there.
Dreaded Yasuke. He's gonna be there too at NPC this year. Nem's brother in Animal. By the way, Nem, another amazing guy that I enjoy. I wish I could talk about everybody, um, but I don't unfortunately have the time. If I didn't, I feel bad. If we didn't get to talk about all the people there, because I had great experiences with every single person. It's definitely not personal.
Oh no,
I think
no. I
that
mean, I have stories with everyone, but those stories would take
yeah.
me 5 to 10 minutes to explain, and then you do the same. You know what I mean? It would just take forever. So,
Oh yeah.
um, but it was an amazing experience, and if you are still listening and you are going this year and you didn't go last year, or if you did go last year and you're going again, you already know what's going to happen. But
Oh yeah.
just yeah, it's going to be bigger and better, and it's if you haven't gone and you are going, like just get excited because it's so much fun. I mean, not that you already
It's the
aren't
best.
excited. I mean, I would hope you would be, unless you're going on like a bet or something. But if you are going, it's going to be amazing, and hopefully we can meet, anyone that's listening. That'd be kind of cool if someone made it this far in the podcast. Like, dude, I was
Oh
listening to your
dude.
podcast, dude. Bought a ticket, dude, and I came, dude.
That'd be so sweet. If you're listening right now and you're going to NPC, let us know in the comment section because I want to meet you. And my dream, like, I don't know if this is even going to happen because I don't even know if you want to do this, but like someday I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if we did a live podcast, like
Oh
at a
yeah,
place like NPC where we actually sit down and do the podcast live with an audience.
that'd be
Like,
so
how
cool.
crazy would that be? I mean, obviously nobody cares right now.
Right, but that's okay.
But
It'll happen.
you
It'll
know,
happen one day.
it'll happen. This podcast is gonna manifest. It's gonna become something just because it's so fun.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyways,
could you imagine if it got so big that we actually had a panel at NPC?
it'd be so sweet, dude. I just love the idea of talking like this and having other people able to converse. It'd be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just dreaming over here. But yeah, if you're listening right now and you are going to NPC, let us know seriously down in the comments. I would love to know. And then just to reiterate what you were saying last time too, before we uh, clear things up here, is that or wrap things
I
up
was gonna
is what
say
I'm
wrap
looking
things
for.
up. Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, we are changing the schedule to Friday. That's a lot of reasons. We were initially going to do it that way, and and this week was entirely my fault. Because I'm moving right now out of state to California, so I'm like super slammed on top of my own projects for Fable. Um, and so I told Alex I had to postpone a couple days. And that's kind of more or less the reason we pushed it. But we're gonna keep it at this because it was kind of our initial idea to do it that way. I think it was your initial idea, and I like that idea. It goes into the weekend, so just know that on Fridays we're going to be uploading this podcast. Now it's not going to be Wednesdays anymore. If you're already a consistent listener, that is changing. So yeah,
Something to
it's
look
not
forward
that
to
we're
on the weekend. So
hell yeah,
Yeah.
party on the weekend.
party on the weekend, dude. But yeah. Anyways, well, I guess that's it. On to NPC 2020, and also, oh shit, I should probably clarify this too. Anyone expecting there to be a guest today? That did not happen, and I do apologize. We just had scheduling conflicts with the surprise guest that we were going to have, but we're going to try and organize something maybe next week or the week after. But anyways, just get excited for that. It'll be cool, fun to have somebody else on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
and
I guess
without saying who it is,
yeah. Oh, dude, it has
Can
to
we
be a
just
surprise.
say-
In the thumbnail, it's gonna be like just like an outline of them, but black, so you don't know who it is. You're like, ooh.
you're like,
But
who is this? It's a silhouette. But we can say that it's a nerdcore legend, and
maybe we don't know yet.
that's right. Well, he did agree. Oh, I just gave away that it's a male too. The person did agree to do it, so
Oh,
I'm
no,
pretty
no,
sure
yeah.
they're gonna be on here.
They did. They're just not. They're like out of the country and stuff. So, anyways, we'll see. We may get somebody else in the meantime.
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna zip my lips.
But it'll be good. It'll be good. So, anyways, it was fun. I just dropped my pick. I don't know if anyone heard that, but it was a ton of fun.
Nice job.
Thank you. And we'll see you guys next time with a brand new episode next Friday. Peace out.